Our members reach their financial goals. VyStar Credit Union, official credit union of the Orlando Magic. Visit VyStarCU.org.
At Wells Fargo, if you accidentally overdraw your account, we give you an extra day grace period to avoid the overdraft fee. What if everything came with an extra day?
Sunday night and I have the Sunday scaries.
Honey, don't be scared. Every weekend comes with an extra day now.
All right. TGI Sunday.
It helps to have an extra day. When it comes to overdrafts, you can with Wells Fargo.
Visit wellsfargo.com/getextra to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. Subject to timing requirements and the bank's funds availability policy. Wells Fargo Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Let's be real. Florida home insurance is an absolute nightmare. And with hurricane season at your doorstep, you need a home insurance company that you can depend on. That's why there's Open House. They're a tech-enabled home insurance provider that uses smart data to keep your premiums low. And you can get an obligation-free quote in seconds and join your neighbors that are saving hundreds of dollars with Open House. You can also get discounts for your smart life choices like having a gym membership or a dog. So start saving today by going to openhouseinsurance.com. See openhouse.com insurance for details. This advertisement does not constitute a binding offer or guarantee of coverage.
The new Smokin' Triple Stack at Firehouse Subs is stacked high with honey ham, smoked turkey, and slow-smoked beef brisket. To top it off, a portion of every purchase helps provide life-saving equipment to first responders. The Smokin' Triple Stack Sub. Get it for a limited time, only at Firehouse Subs. Participating U.S. locations, Firehouse of America, LLC, and Firehouse Subs suppliers together will donate 0.09% of purchases in 2023 at Firehouse Subs locations to the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation for the purchase of life-saving equipment with a minimum donation of $1 million.
In St. Augustine, Ponte Vedra, it might feel like there's not enough time to take everything in. Because once you're done exploring 42 miles of pristine coast, marveling at historical architecture, and enjoying world-class food, it'll be time to check out and head home. But that's okay. You can always stay just one more day. Visit FloridasHistoricCoast.com to learn more. It's about time.
With the Autio app riding shotgun, every road trip is an adventure.
Autio is my traveling companion. It's educational, entertaining, funny. It makes the drive come to life.
The Autio app automatically plays you stories about the natural wonders, local legends, and fascinating histories outside your car window, with over 10,000 unique stories from coast to coast.
I've learned more about my hometown from the Autio app than I did growing up here.
Autio, the perfect companion for your next road trip. Learn more at autio.com.
If you own a business with at least 5 employees and were operational during COVID, then you could be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund up to $26,000 per employee. This is not a loan, and you do not need to pay this back. Visit governmentaid.com today. Their team of ERC experts will navigate this complex process and file on your behalf. They've helped tens of thousands of businesses obtain billions. Act today. Visit governmentaid.com to see if your business qualifies.
If you suffered an injury at a place of business, dial Pound Law. That's all. Morgan & Morgan.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman & Lind Studios. Why Kaufman & Lind? Because you matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The 3 best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Tuesday, June 13th, 2023. Lots to get to today. From Trump turns himself in again to another church investigates a miracle, and a missing chef turns up alive. Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Hey there, Sabrina.
Howdy.
Hello, C-Lane.
What's happening?
And hello to you. You can join us on the show today. All you have to do is send us a dispatch at thenewsjunkie.com. You could also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right into the studio in real time. And friends, it is a Share the Show Tuesday. means you share the show. It's easy to do. Just tell somebody about the News Junkie Radio Show and the radio station where you're hearing this. Send along a link to the podcast or the live stream. Hit that like button if you're watching us. Smash it as hard as you can.
Punch your computer.
Do what you can to spread the word about the show on a Share the Show Tuesday. Welcome back, C-Lane.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm very sore.
Yeah.
I've got
walking?
Oh, man.
How many steps you get in? Did you look yet?
Thousands. The first day that we went, the day we left, Friday, we had 2 airports to navigate and a whole bunch of stuff that we did after that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think on my watch, the exercise goal, which is 30 minutes a day.
Yeah, the little ring you got to get, the circle.
I did it 5 times plus. Like 500%. And my wife kept getting mad because, we're going to the same places. We're doing the same stuff, right? And I am registering more minutes of exercise than she is.
Correct.
Because I'm out of shape. And so
Does the watch count that in?
You set it up, though. I've been in that same situation where you set your own goals, and then when you walk through a festival or something like that, like, you're reaching them a lot faster.
But it's not necessarily about the goals. It was just like minutes total. But I'm like, you and I doing the same thing. My heart rate is going up before yours is. That's what the watch is counting as exercise. So just a leisurely stroll through Central Park for you is cardio.
Right. And Courtney will have this too. She'll go, I went out for my run today and I didn't burn as many calories as I usually do. And she said, my heart rate was lower. And I'm like, yeah, well, Courtney, that's a good thing. It's like, you want your heart rate to be lower.
There you go. I will sit there on my couch and have a panic attack. And I'm like, it looks like I am running a 5K right now.
Burning calories here. Just my stress. That's all it takes. But there was no orange smoke. There was no weird stuff.
Man, if we hadn't followed the news and been looking at this and been concerned about this, because the whole point of us going was that the first day we went, we were going to an outdoor concert.
And there was rumors that all this stuff could be canceled.
They had canceled Yankee games days before that. They had canceled indoor shows, so it was bothersome. It was worrisome. And then when we got there, it didn't even smell like smoke.
Really? It never happened.
The AQI got down to like the 40s, I think, one of the days. It was ridiculously clear, and you would never have known that there was a problem just a day before that.
Well, good timing on that, Could have been a hell of a lot worse.
Show was great. We went. The venue is new. The most bands haven't played there because they've just started renovating it. The neighborhood surrounding the venue hates it.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
They're not fans?
They are. There's all these articles about this is Forest Hill Stadium in Queens where they used to hold the U.S. Open, and there's all these articles about how the neighborhoods are trying to figure out ways they can roadblock the stuff going on there, like shutting down private roads, stuff like that.
They're at war with their own stadium.
Yeah, but the venue is gorgeous. It's like a half stadium, and it was really cool. It was a really fun place it was a new place to be and fun place to see the band. It was fun.
Well, good to have you back. We'll hear more stories, I'm sure, as everything rolls on. Let's start as we always do. Let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. And we go to a showdown, friends, on a train of all places. This is some lady who is really mad and causing a scene on the train versus an employee of the train, and it was just weird. So let's listen in.
Don't make me be that person!
Wow.
Don't!
Get it
You're
already?
60, man.
Don't! Please don't!
Look at the guy. Those of you not watching, just listening, there's a man who could not be more unmoved.
Well, he's
just
give
leaning.
him time.
Oh, okay.
Give him time because he's trying to be patient with the woman who's just screeching in his face, but he lowers himself to her level, and it becomes really awkward.
Very simple for me! Back up! This is my bubble!
This is my bubble.
Right here, right now! Please back up!
Oh my God, it's so bad.
It's
that could really
screeching.
take down some terrorists.
It's screeching.
That's Guantanamo Bay style.
And she said, "This is my bubble. This is my bubble." And the guy's still just staring at
She's
her.
got a pretty big bubble.
Yeah, seems that way.
I mean, he would be potentially in the bubble of the person sitting to the left of her.
Mm-hmm.
But there's an empty seat to the left of her.
No, she's got space between her and him, but she still wants more.
Could you imagine if you were the one next to her, if they had sold that
good
seat?
God. I'd say put me anywhere else. Anywhere else right now.
I'll ride on top of the train.
So they're hanging out on this train, and there's a bit of a screeching match. He backs up a little bit, and he's about to join in the crazy.
More!
Back up more.
No.
Yes! Yes!
Oh my God.
Yes! I said no. And I said yes, and I mean it.
Oh, great. So who wins
This is wild.
I
Dude,
said
it's-
no, and I mean it.
it's
This is
stuff like
a joke.
this.
This is a
This is
this
real.
is planned. This is a performance piece.
I want like a crack team to look upon this, both of them, but like mostly the woman's background. Has she ever had a moment like this? And if not, it's what I fear.
Yeah.
Like one of these days, something snaps and I'm screaming like that in a train.
No!
Yes!
I like how he goes down to her level. He's like, okay, I'm going to act like a 5-year-old too. I'm going to say it right back to you.
no. And I said yes, and I mean it. What makes you think that you have more authority than I do? And what makes you think you have more authority than me? Because I do. I'm a human person.
Oh,
Okay.
TikTok.
That you have more authority because you're a human.
Yeah, he's not
Well,
a
he's
human
a
person.
robot. Yeah, he is a robot.
Listen, bitch, he works for the train. He does have more authority than you.
But what do you do if you're that guy? What do you, in that situation with somebody screaming at you, got a passenger, and you're like, he tried to first go with the calm route, and then he tried to, maybe I can out-scream her. Good luck, buddy. You're not out-screaming this lady.
Yes.
That's not going to happen. And then he's like, oh.
I think the only if they were to bring in a ringer to out-scream her, it would have to be the "You Are My Savior."
Yeah,
lady.
the lady on the plane.
Oh, she was good.
This lady was
She was
screaming
good.
at him, man. I'm a human person. So,
Damn it, Sabrina.
I don't know who won that showdown. Oh, yes. Thank you for stepping on that. Thank you. I appreciate
You know,
that.
grab both. We'll see what happens.
Today's the day, friends. It's going to be some chaos in Miami, I guess, as former President Trump goes to turn himself in on a 37-count indictment down there. They have a very loose estimate of how many people they're expecting, between 5,000 and 50,000, which is
Okay.
It's quite the range there.
Do you think that because last time this happened, all we saw was a sea of reporters, cops, and barely anybody?
No, there wasn't too many just regular people.
But that was in New York. It was in Manhattan. There's not a lot of Trump supporters.
No,
there.
that's not his territory.
But now we're South Florida. That is damn well is his territory.
He's got a lot of Hispanic supporters in Miami.
Are we thinking there is going to be a crowd?
I don't know. They don't
They're
even
preparing
know.
for it. They have two different, I don't know, styles of police. That was the wrong way to do it. But federal police will be guarding the actual
So
court
they have
area.
federal and state police.
And then state has to deal with a crowd.
Right. Yeah. And so they have no idea how many people are going to be out there.
I was watching this morning, and the reporter was like, we got here at 7 a.m., and there were people here already.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God. So there's already folks lining up and getting ready for this. And we'll watch it as it goes on. If anything crazy happens, we'll let you know. They're going to bring them in an underground tunnel like they do, so you're probably not going to see them.
Wait,
but
those exist in Miami?
I guess so. They said
Surrounded by water?
Yeah, they said there's an underground tunnel to the courthouse, which is kind of the similar thing. Even though they said underground tunnel last time, and he went right in like the front door.
Yeah.
He wanted to have a show of it, though.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to say anything to the crowd or whatever. So they are going to bring him in, do the fingerprint stuff. He has to plead to the charges, et cetera, et cetera. There's still a question mark on if Trump is going to get a mugshot taken or not.
Oh.
And so if he is going to get a mugshot, we have to toss in our bets on what kind of face we're going to see.
You want to do it right now?
Yeah, on this mugshot.
I'm going to go with smirk, no teeth.
Okay, smirk.
$5.
So he's showing that he's smiling a little bit, but he's not showing any teeth.
He's doing a Mona Lisa, but a little bit more on the edges.
What do you think, C-Lane?
The classic Donald duck lips.
All right. Okay.
Ooh,
The
that's a
pouty
good guess.
look. Yeah. This traditional look for him. I think
Not
he
guilty.
is going to go ear to ear grin, which I hope
With teeth.
just hope he does big old grin and smile.
All right, well then we all have
No.
3 different answers that never happens.
Uh-huh.
Let's
I like-
put some more money in, $20.
I'm in.
I like Sean's idea. No
Ceiling's
teeth.
out.
Yeah.
No teeth, but the grin is like the Grinch grin.
Curled up on the sides
Yeah.
a little bit. Yeah. So they don't know if he's going to do that or not. It is a Trump-friendly judge that is going to be
What does that mean?
overseeing this. It's somebody who he appointed to the position, or it was somebody that he supported at the time. But I don't think that person's officially in charge of the case just yet. So we'll have to see what's going on. Let's see what they were saying. Here's Local 10 talking about the run-up to Trump going to check himself in again for these charges in Miami.
Police about their plans to keep everyone safe downtown tomorrow.
Andrew?
Well, what we know is that there's a
This is from
layered
late
approach
yesterday.
to security tomorrow. Authorities say they're prepared to deal with up to 50,000 people.
That's
we
a lot.
know that there is a potential of things taking a turn for the worst.
Security beefing up
So
around
Miami.
the federal courthouse in downtown Miami. Miami-Dade police,
Cops
city,
everywhere.
Homeland Security, just a few of the agencies preparing for Trump's arraignment.
We're going to be using a unified command approach, meaning that all the individuals that are able to make any type of significant decision will be in the same room.
We have a lot of
What
experience.
are you doing, copping, man? Do some voice work.
I know, that
you
guy
got
is a robust
that is a
voice.
sexy, robust Hispanic voice you got there.
It is so Miami. It reminds me of my uncle.
That man is alive. He's
Not the
just-
sexy part, obviously.
Read me my rights.
Yeah, he's got a strong voice, and it sounds like he's in charge down there. So maybe this will go smoothly.
In protest of this magnitude.
Miami Mayor Francis Suarez pointing to protests in recent years surrounding the death of George Floyd, saying the city has prepared for crowds and potential conflict, but as of now will only execute those plans as needed.
So they don't know exactly what is going to happen here, but we're going to watch it and see what goes down. And we'll see, supporters, I'm sure, and protesters, those both for and against what's happening here. It's going to be a show. And so that's something that we always try to keep our eyes on around here. Last night was the night. Unfortunately, Miami didn't get a win there. The Heat lost, sadly. 94-89, and the Denver Nuggets win.
Sean called them the Denver Weeds last night.
I made a
yesterday.
mistake, but I know who they are, kind of. I mean, I know of the Denver Nuggets.
It's their first time ever in their franchise history.
They've never won. This was their first.
It's embarrassing.
And they celebrated afterwards by having a mass shooting in
I'm
Denver.
sorry?
As a lot of the people were taken to partying in the streets, and I think a handful of people were shot as a result. So that's a fun time. But one of the stars of the team, Nikola Jokic.
All right, nailed it.
Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic is his name.
All right.
And he was just thrilled, over the moon, excited about their victory. Let's hear what he said.
You are an NBA champion, Nikola. How does that feel?
It's good.
Nikola.
It's good. The job is done. We can go home now.
All right. That's what he said.
Oh, that was it.
The job is done.
I'm tired.
We could go home now. He wants to go back home, and he's out of there. So they won 94-89, clinching their first ever NBA title in the world of sports.
I think sometimes the sideline reporters think they are going to like strike oil when they have a good question for these winning basketball players. And they get nothing.
Tell us
They
how
get-
you're
they get-
feeling.
They get nothing. I watched one. I talk about it all the time. It was my favorite one. I think it was Dwight Howard, but I might be wrong. And they said, "What was your strategy in today's win?" And he goes, I just go up and I puts the ball in the hole.
He's right. It's like we don't have to overcomplicate
I
it.
just also love that they don't push anymore. They're just like, all right, cool,
All right.
back to you.
See you later. Here we go. So there they go. Congrats to the Denver Nuggets. When we come back, we have so much to get into today. Busy show with everything that's going on. But I want to talk about this guy who says that Amazon has done him wrong. And this was a big story that was starting to gain traction online yesterday. It's a really, really interesting one. Wait till you hear what Amazon did to this guy. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Someday Alexa will do everything. Alexa, can you unclog the toilet?
Yeah, I'm kind of busy right now.
But until then, just tell her to play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio.
Playing Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
What's happening, family? Hopefully your Tuesday is going well. And right now on the major highways and roads of Orlando, we're seeing a pretty clear traffic flow. But of course, your usual delay on I-4, that's east and westbound approaching State Road 535. Beside that, east and westbound of the 408 is clear. North and southbound of the Turnpike is clear, as well as the Greenway. And the rest of the major highways and roads are incident-free. Our Safe Touch Security traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Brian Black.
This report is sponsored by Heron Home and Outdoor.
At Heron Home and Outdoor, we pride ourselves on providing thick, healthy, weed-free lawns. Keeping the grass on your lawn green and your shrubs and trees in tip-top shape is our specialty. Visit myheronhome.com today for a free quote and money-saving offers. Heron Home and Outdoor, your local lawn and pest experts.
Hey shoppers, this is your local farmer letting you know that Florida watermelon is in season right now. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo while you shop. We're going to need a lot more help at checkout.
Quitting nicotine isn't easy, which is why Tobacco Free Florida offers free tools and services like free 2-week starter kits of Quit Aids. We're also trying out music to help motivate smokers to quit.
Not another cigarette would be lame. Now there's someone living tobacco free. It's you.
Wow. Okay. You know, maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
Pool season is here, but open roles got you underwater? Check out Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. They have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Orlando area attorneys. Office in Orlando. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTR-CM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
With the Autio app riding shotgun, every road trip is an adventure.
Autio is my traveling companion. It's educational, entertaining, funny. It makes the drive come to life.
The Autio app automatically plays you stories about the natural wonders, local legends, and fascinating histories outside your car window, with over 10,000 unique stories from coast to coast.
I've learned more about my hometown from the Autio app than I did growing up here.
Autio, the perfect companion for your next road trip. Learn more at autio.com.
Want to improve your marksmanship while saving ammo and saving money? Get better faster with the Mantis X Dry Fire Training System.
It's time to shoot tighter groups.
The Mantis X Dry Fire Training System.
Score 97, bang on the money.
The Mantis X is a smart sensor that fits any weapon with a rail or adapter, pairing to your smartphone or tablet. Analyzes your shooting and tells you how to improve.
Mantis.
94% of shooters improve after just 20 minutes.
X.
Go to MantisX.com.
MantisX.com.
Storm season is here, and Duke Energy is ready. With innovative technology and new ways to reroute power to help prevent outages in all kinds of weather. We're strengthening our systems, ready to restore power quickly and safely, while keeping you informed about outages with text and email alerts. It's all part of building a smarter energy future for you. Paid for by Duke Energy shareholders.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you, Do Not Disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Hi, I'm Joel Osteen. I've learned that you'll never meet the right people unless you get rid of the wrong people. Life is too short to hang around people that are pulling you down, draining your energy, keeping you from your best. I have a podcast where I talk about choosing the right people, having great relationships, so you can become all you were created to be. It's inspiring and encouraging. I think you'll enjoy it. Listen to the Joel Osteen Podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Best price the first time. OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
A man held hostage by Amazon, or so he says. This story's crazy. Wait till you hear us get into this. First, our friend Hollywood Brad emails to tips@thenewsjunkie.com, and it was something we were talking about yesterday because we were discussing this Natasha Lyonne lady, and I guess she doesn't smoke anymore.
No more smoking.
She lost her signature voice, and it's like, wow, man, that was a big part of her character.
And most of the characters that she played smoked for some reason. I don't know if that was part of the writer or not.
Well, Hollywood Brad says, regarding Natasha Lyonne smoking on TV shows, she's not smoking real cigarettes in those scenes. She's smoking these herbal cigarettes that smell like S and apparently taste just as bad.
That still goes into your lungs, does it not?
Seems like it would be bad either way. I believe it's an OSHA regulation that there is no smoking on set, but I could be wrong. And he says, that reminds me of the time I was working on a show called Preacher in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It was the last episode of the season, and I was doing a shot of a character lighting and hotboxing a joint in the back of a car. The prop guy bought a selection of fake joints for him to choose from, and the actor asked if he could just smoke a real joint. He's a big pot smoker in real life. The prop guy asked the producer, who said, sure, why not? We were outside and the windows of the car were down, so I did the shot from inside the car. And the shot was fine, but they wanted the smoke to hang in the air, so they rolled up all the windows. So he's getting hotboxed filming this guy in the car. He said, we did the shot quite a few more times, and it was like something out of Cheech and Chong in there. When we finished, the actor and I got out of the car, and he was ripped and went straight to his trailer. I realized I was pretty high and had to go back to work for another 10 hours.
That's awesome.
I'm not a fan of smoking pot, so it was super weird, and I was scared to death I was going to trip and fall and hurt someone. But it wore off pretty quickly, and I was fine. He says, as I walked by the actor's trailer on the way to lunch, he came out and saw me and apologized and said he's never been that high in his life.
That man sat in his trailer and in complete silence.
He was just sitting there staring into the abyss.
Freaking out.
And he said he probably smoked about 4 joints while doing that scene.
Wow.
He told me when he got to his trailer, he instantly fell asleep and woke up 4 hours later for lunch and was still high. Sorry to be so long-winded. I thought you guys might enjoy that story, Hollywood Brad.
That was a great story.
Yeah.
That Jonah Hill had like fake cocaine for Wolf of Wall Street. And he had done so many takes of snorting fake cocaine that he actually got like a vitamin C overdose.
Right, because of the replacement stuff that they used.
Did they say what they used in Wolf of Wall Street? Because I know
it's some sort of like protein powder or something like that.
In Blow with Johnny Depp, they used milk powder, I think.
Mm-hmm. So you're just snorting milk?
I guess. That's what they were doing. And I always wondered for movies like that. Like, obviously we know the Blues Brothers, they had a budget for the off-camera cocaine use.
Mm-hmm. Right, but when the real stuff.
But when it comes to having, like, the milk powder for Blow or whatever they use for Wolf of Wall Street, I always wonder if, like, on the very last day of shooting, they just go, we got you guys a present.
Here you go.
Action.
Have fun.
I feel like those scenes would be a little different, faster.
And question to Hollywood Brad, actually, now that we're talking about this. Over the weekend, I finally watched Jury Duty, the reality show.
Wasn't it lovely?
It was nice. It was real cute, and the guy was a sweet guy. I found myself, when they do the reveal that he's the only one who's not an actor, and everybody else is acting around him in this fake court case. I was like I was kind of hanging there in the moment, like, ooh, is this gonna make him feel bad or?
Oh, it did.
Yeah, like he was processing a lot because he believed it.
There was a lot of post interviews where he was saying like it took him probably like a week. Like he was so shocked, and during that, gosh, I don't want to spoil too much, but that last episode covers a lot of the reveal for him.
Right.
And he said he was very shocked, and then when he finally got home, he was paranoid.
Yeah.
Like,
What else is fake?
Yeah, he thought, am I being still filmed and all of that? And it was the actor who played himself.
Yeah.
What's his name?
James Marsden?
Yes,
Yeah.
James Marsden.
Who like called him and was like, all right, you're good, man. I got you. And was kind of his guiding light for it.
I was feeling bad about it until they said, by the way, you get $100,000.
I didn't know that was going to happen.
Yeah, at that point I was like, all right, he's fine. You know, he can go through a little torture for $100,000. He'll be a whole lot better afterwards. But when I was watching that, I kept noticing in all these scenes when they were pulling back and showing the crew and stuff, I was like, all of them still have masks on. And I was like, man, is it still on any kind of production set the case that everybody has to have masks on and they're doing testing and stuff?
Did they say when?
I don't know when it was filmed.
It was filmed?
I don't know
And
when.
also where is a big thing because, man, for the longest time, I mean, I know they haven't been on in a while because of the writer's strike, but for a while, SNL still had like masks and what are you guys doing? You were just doing a scene with no masks, and then they're like, all right, well,
Put it on now.
For the good nights, we're going to put our mask on.
I think it's a thing. I think it's like something maybe with a union or whatever, because when I was watching that, I was like, this can't be too old. And if they're in this year requiring all these people to wear like N95s for the entirety of a production shoot, like this is ridiculous. There's no reason for this anymore. But
think about it. If one person has COVID,
Yeah.
you have to shut down everything.
Right, but that's stupid too. Like they don't have to even do that if they don't want to. No other jobs do that. If you have any symptoms of being sick, you go home. You know, like during the actual
Or you
shooting of
don't
that
test,
show,
and you never know.
During the shooting of that show, they were like, "Oh, we had a day where there was like some sort of COVID scare," or maybe they lied to him about that. I forgot, but
They did.
It was something that
Gosh,
came up.
we're really spoiling.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but it came up along the way. But yeah, they're still wearing masks on some of these sets where they're filming TV shows and movies and stuff. And they got to change that, for God's sake. Okay, over to this. This is a story that I saw online. It's gotten a ton of attention. 9.7 million views on this thread. And here's what they said. It says, a delivery driver for Amazon misheard an automated doorbell for racism and reported it. Nobody was home. Amazon turned off all the lights, shut the entire smart home down before it even started its investigation. Law enforcement via corporation with no due process, they say. We didn't elect these companies, nor do we have a say in the laws they arbitrarily pen, but we handed them control over our lives. We're trading freedom for shiny beads and trinkets. And so I read the story from this guy, and obviously there was no racism. They said the Amazon delivery driver had his headphones on and like maybe kicked his headphone off because he heard something and then thought he heard something that was racist. It was a particular type of doorbell, and it's not Nest and it's not Ring. I've never heard of it before. And they said on this one, if you walk up, there's a sensor and it says like, hello, how can I help you? Or it like acknowledges that a person
being
is
recorded.
there. Whatever it was, the guy for some reason thought it was a racial slur, reports it to Amazon. I didn't know this was a thing. Amazon shuts down the guy's account, all right? They completely shut down the guy's account. The guy says this story on his Medium post. It says, a tale of unwanted disruption, my week without Amazon. And he said, the incident left me with a house full of unresponsive devices, a silent Alexa, and a lot of questions. And he was even talking about scenes where he's just like sitting in the dark in his house and like a week is going by.
Okay, buddy, you can unplug your lights and put them into the regular electricity sockets.
Right. When I heard this, I was like, okay.
A little dramatic here.
It's a little weird that Amazon would do this and, shut down everything without looking into what was going on. And he said even when he gave him the evidence, the guy was black, by the way, and the driver was black. But even when he gave him the evidence, he said Amazon wasn't really responding that much, and he was just kind of shut off. The idea that you're without Amazon for a week shouldn't be the end of the world for you.
I sat in the darkness?
Yeah, if you set up your house so that Amazon can cuck you to the point where you're sitting in pitch black darkness because you can no longer audibly turn your lights on in your house, you have made a mistake. Your house is no longer smart, all right? If you want to have a smart house, there's plenty of ways to do, there's many, many ways to do this that have nothing to do with some other company that can cut in and block access from you being able to turn things on or off in your smart house. That's ridiculous. And I'm pretty sure if you have a smart light set up, you still have like a light switch that can turn the lights in the studio are smart lights. You could still go over and hit the button and turn the lights on.
I mean, I think he was just being dramatic.
Yeah.
Because on the update on the bottom of his thing, it says, I was not truly in the dark for a week. My smart home runs mostly locally, and Alexa really is just a polymorphic interface. I was just able to use Siri. Though out of habit, sometimes I said Alexa only for her to remind me how stupid I was.
Okay, but see, the thing is, like, that is misleading. And when you said his article on medium.com, it feels like there is probably a secondary goal here for him.
I don't know if he was
not
pitching
like
anything.
a Twitter post, but if you sit there and give all the synonyms possible for how bad it was after you were held hostage by Amazon and making an article, it just screams like you have something else in mind.
I mean, tell me this doesn't sound dramatic. This is the opening paragraph. On Wednesday, May 31st, 2023, I finally regained access to my Amazon account after an unexpected and unwarranted lockout that lasted nearly a week. This wasn't just a simple inconvenience, though. I have a smart home, and my primary means of interfacing with all the devices and automations is through Amazon Echo devices via Alexa.
Oh, no.
The incident left me with a house full of unresponsive devices, a silent Alexa, and a lot of questions. Okay, come on, man. Really, if you've set up your house that way...
Rip all you guys' devices, by the way. Sorry.
Sorry about that. If you have set up your house that way, you are a dummy. You are a dummy. And Amazon did wrong. Their setup is stupid. The way that they had that set up is dumb, right? And all this was a giant overreaction over nothing. But still, it's on you.
You think they actually did it, man?
I think they did. I think they did shut down access to his account, which I didn't know they would do. Like, I didn't know a driver could report you.
I didn't think that, and it would lead to
Your
them shutting it down.
Yeah, everything is shut down. Like, you can't...
I'm going to report you and see what happens.
If you have a device and you're speaking to it, it's like, nope, unresponsive or whatever. So I didn't know they could do that, and I don't like that they could do that. But the idea that this man was sitting in the dark just sobbing and wasn't able to use anything in his house, and he was a prisoner of Amazon is ridiculous. It didn't happen that way, number one. And even if it did, or let's say in a fictional world it did, this guy's
the whole
an idiot.
week I couldn't play Name That Tune with my Alexa.
this guy's an idiot for setting up his house that way. You need to set up your house in a way where you're independent from any of these things. You got to do this stuff. I mean, I worry about these things. That's why I've just spent a significant amount of money building up the website so that if there were any problems with the App Store stuff, that there would be a website to fall back on for the news junkie stuff. So I understand that you don't want these companies
that's what you're doing.
to have their foot on your neck, and I'm willing to put money behind the ideas that I think are good for the future of the show. But that doesn't mean that you would just go to this level of things. This is really, really dumb. I thought it was interesting, though, but I think he was very, very much over-dramatizing his situation. Let's work in one or two dispatches real quick. Here is Insecure Walrus talking about fake movie cocaine.
So, weird but true facts. The fake cocaine in movies used to be powdered milk and baking soda mixed together. But for reasons that I don't know, they switched to something called inositol, which is a vitamin B supplement.
That's the thing.
That actually my wife takes, and it's expensive. It's like $100 every 30-something days.
Jesus.
To take a packet a day. So I can't imagine what it costs on movies to have inositol instead of cocaine. Maybe it's cheaper to get cocaine. But it's like a vitamin B sort of thing.
He said the same thing. We both landed on the same thing.
I know, but could you imagine? There's multiple takes.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be upwards of 30, 40 takes.
Oh, my God. I don't know if I
And
could
every
do
time you
that.
do that much cocaine, and the take just becomes worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, and maybe this stuff that he's mentioning is what was in that viral video. I think I mentioned this on the show.
I mean,
when the girl did the line of coke that was like, it was as long as Sabrina's desk, and she's just going down the whole damn thing, and maybe she did that.
But like, that's weird that I heard the milk powder thing before, but I'd never heard of baking soda. Should you really be putting baking soda up your
Maybe
nose?
that's why they changed it. You know, and they
It's
thought
like
there's
change
something
the pH of your whole system.
right. Either one of them doesn't seem
Let's
very
see,
good.
what was it
No
that-
amount of Navage is going to fix that.
I don't think so.
Jonah Hill, that's the story that I remember significantly.
Mhm.
And I don't think it was either of those things, milk powder or the vitamin B.
Well, it was some kind of vitamin that he overdosed on, is what you were saying. So maybe it was the vitamin B thing. Or maybe
I'm
they have-
getting so many ads right now, so you know what? We'll leave it to a mystery.
Oh, isn't it beautiful surfing the web in 2023?
I hate it.
Sign up for our newsletter, and here's this. And
Back in our day,
turn
just
off
10
your
years ago.
turn off your pop-up blocker. Support the site. 8,000 things.
That video doorbell that you were talking about that you hadn't heard of is a Eufy.
Yeah, that's
EUFY.
I don't know that one.
I've never heard of that one, but now that I've Googled it, it seems like maybe it's the cheap one.
Oh, is it really? Yeah, he says it like addresses
It was
people
$100.
when they come in close proximity to it, and that's what it had said to this guy. And so, the idea that there's a whole reporting system, I guess that's fine, but they need to have better structure to it. You can't just have it so somebody can report that somebody, I heard something racist, so you shut down access to their account, and they can't, tell you what really happened and get access back to their account. But this guy just absolutely exaggerated the hell out of the whole situation. When we come back, we had a miracle not long ago on the show. You guys remember this. There's a miracle. The nun was dug up and her face was still there. She wasn't a bag of bones.
Come on, man.
And the people were kissing the nun and people were hanging out with the nun. And, it was a whole thing. It was a miracle. Now there is a church that says they had the miracle of their very own. And the church is now investigating this. The Vatican is going to investigate this incident. And if it happened, they'll put it officially down as a miracle. And what happened isn't like a simple thing like a tear coming down a statue or anything. It's really weird. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
If Twitter is imploding, we're going along for the ride. Join us at Real Radio 1041 on Twitter, powered by Anajar Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Allison Gargaro with a look at your Central Florida forecast. Afternoon highs today will be soaring to the mid-90s through the Orlando metro, with feels-like temperatures ranging anywhere from 100 up to 103 degrees. Make sure you're staying hydrated and take breaks inside the AC. This afternoon, we're monitoring a 20% chance for an isolated shower or thunderstorm. Always remember to depend on the Fox 35 Storm Team. I'm meteorologist Allison Gargaro.
This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida.
Hey shoppers, this is your local farmer letting you know that Florida watermelon is in season right now. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo while you shop. We're going to need a lot more help at checkout.
From the Florida Department of Agriculture.
Wells Fargo gives you access to direct deposit funds up to 2 days early.
Plus, if you look at the X and Y axes...
What if everything came 2 days early? Like the weekend.
Well, that was a pleasant surprise.
You can't get everything early, but when it comes to direct deposits, you can with Wells Fargo.
Visit wellsfargo.com/getearly to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. Not all direct deposits are eligible. Early availability is not guaranteed and may vary between deposits from the same payer. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
The new Smokin' Triple Stack at Firehouse Subs is stacked high with honey ham, smoked turkey, and slow-smoked beef brisket. To top it off, a portion of every purchase helps provide life-saving equipment to first responders. The Smokin' Triple Stack Sub. Get it for a limited time, only at Firehouse Subs. Participating U.S. locations. Firehouse of America, LLC, and Firehouse Subs suppliers together will donate 0.09% of purchases in 2023 at Firehouse Subs locations to the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation for the purchase of life-saving equipment with a minimum donation of $1 million.
Home title theft. It's on the rise and it's devastating if it happens to you. Listen to the alarming words of an actual home title thief.
I don't need to know your date of birth and social security number. All I have to do is go to public records, create a document, and file that document. And then I can borrow against the house or sell the house. You may have no clue until you find out that your house has been sold or till several loans or several banks are foreclosing on you.
For pennies a day, Home Title Lock puts a virtual barrier of protection around your home's title with 24/7 monitoring. The instant they detect any tampering, you'll get an alert. And that's bad news for home title thieves. So when's the last time you checked on the title to your home? Find out if you're already a victim with your free title scan and complete title report. $100 value free with sign up. Just go to HomeTitleLock.com and sign up in minutes. That's HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com.
If you own a business with at least 5 employees and were operational during COVID, then you could be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund up to $26,000 per employee. This is not a loan, and you do not need to pay this back. Visit governmentaid.com today. Their team of ERC experts will navigate this complex process and file on your behalf. They've helped tens of thousands of businesses obtain billions. Act today. Visit governmentaid.com to see if your business qualifies.
In St. Augustine, Ponte Vedra, it might feel like there's not enough time to take everything in. Because once you're done exploring 42 miles of pristine coast, marveling at historical architecture, and enjoying world-class food, it'll be time to check out and head home. But that's okay. You can always stay just one more day. Visit FloridasHistoricCoast.com to learn more. It's about time.
GiveMeTheVin.com created the computer site Unseen Bid. All these copycats, they take your information and they sell it to 3, 4, 5, 6 other dealers. We do not do that. When you go to GiveMeTheVin.com, we treat you like a customer, not a number. We pay the most, we pay fast, and we take care of you because you're our customer. And that's why our reviews are awesome. GiveMeTheVin.com is America's best car buyer for a reason.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
As road pros, we know how to get from point A to point B.
Yeah, from making alternate routes to finding the best cup of coffee on the road.
And how to help get better mileage.
Yep. Yeah, all diesel fuels are not the same.
Yep. Synergy diesel-efficient fuel from Exxon and Mobil stations helps you get further down the road. Helps keep your engine cleaner, you know?
Keep this baby running. That's the goal. Get the job done and get home.
Yep. Pros.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Learn more and find a station at Exxon.com. Compared to diesel without detergent additives. Results may vary.
Grab your shades, your flip-flops, and your free iHeartRadio app for summer 2023. No matter where you go this summer, your favorite radio station, the music you love, and the best podcasts in the world will be along for the adventure. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
At SimpliSafe, we design award-winning security to protect every inch of your home. It's easy to set up yourself, and now there's an even easier option. Have an expert do it for you with SimpliSafe Pro Install. Always protecting, never a contract. 2 easy installation options. Backed by 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplisafe.com/radio. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Look sharp, shop smart, and take care of your eyes. Visit America's Best for a professional comprehensive eye exam, plus 2 pairs of glasses starting at just $79.95. Shop online or book an exam at americasbest.com. That's americasbest.com.
Or so they say. Do you believe them? Let's see. I'm going to tell you what happened here. And the Vatican is actually investigating what went down at this church in Connecticut, okay? That's how big of a deal this is. You got the folks from the Pope down talking about how this was a miracle. It was God. It was actually a miracle in this church in Connecticut. But
do you think the Vatican investigation team, the VBI, the Vatican Bureau of Investigations,
I like to picture it that way.
Do you think that they have a lot of work to do?
I wouldn't think so, but what with the dead nun in this story?
The aliens, did you hear about them? The Vatican was mentioned.
They're looking into this too? The Vatican?
No, you know that big story that's coming out, all the reveal, there's a whistleblower.
Oh, yeah. I have seen some of this.
And they're the Vatican's known about it since the 30s.
Oh, my God. And they're keeping this a secret because it'll ruin their religion or something? Oh. Well, this will help it out, I guess. A very dramatic article from MSN about this. Listen to this, because I want to know if you believe that this happened. The priest paused after finishing a prayer, looked at someone off to his side, and scratched his forehead. We had something happen, he told the congregation. The Reverend Joseph Crowley paused again, video show. It's hard to say, actually, he added. What happened, some at the Connecticut parish now say, was a miracle. During communion, a bowl holding the hosts, those are the wafers that Catholicism teaches are...
Christ's crispy treat.
Yeah, transformed into Jesus Christ's body during the Mass. Those hosts were running out, and yet the bowl never emptied, right? So they said, like, the bowl full of these hosts, the wafers, is going around, and it's running out. But somehow, magically, it kept refilling itself, and they believe this was a miracle.
How many people were at this Mass?
Let me see what it says here. It says the possibility that the receptacle may have refilled itself during a March 5th service has kindled fascination among the faithful.
Prove it.
It's also inspired the Archdiocese of Hartford to launch an investigation, which has since been sent to the highest echelons of the church. And if the Vatican founds that the reported increase in communion hosts defies rational or scientific explanation, it would become an official miracle on the record. So I don't know if you believe him or not, but they said this was witnessed by some people. And there was a lot of people who were around.
You can also order those, mind you, not blessed. They don't become Jesus until the part of that Mass.
I may or may not have had some of those sent to my house recently.
Yeah, you can order on Amazon.
Yeah, well, here's what I think happened here. At least this is what I like to believe happened. I like to believe there was a couple of pranksters within the congregation that day, and as they saw the bowl going light, they acted like they were picking one of the wafers out and then tossed a handful more in.
It's a long haul.
And
That'd be cool.
A couple people down the line tossed a handful more in.
Except that would be that would be a mini controversy in the Catholic Church, because that means that now there's a mixture of wafers and Jesus' body.
Right. You can't have that.
Some of it has been consecrated and some of it is not. So you might have accidentally given some of your fellow Catholics some unblessed wafers.
I think at church sometimes, and I don't fault them for this, they're really looking for the miracles, you know?
Of course.
They're like, we were having a little get-together, and it didn't look like Sally's mashed potatoes was going to be enough to feed everybody, but everybody, I'll be damned, got a scoop of mashed potatoes.
And it's shaped to look like the Virgin Mary.
It's a miracle. This whole thing is a miracle.
You know what's very interesting? I was an altar girl growing up in elementary school, and there is this rule when it comes to the Christ Crispy treats that if they were to fall on the ground, if someone, and I witnessed this, like there was fortunately, there was someone of not full mental capacity.
Oh, okay.
That had taken the body of Christ and then took it out of his mouth and threw it on the ground.
Oh, he didn't like it.
And the priest had to come up and, because of the rules, had to consume it.
Oh, he had to eat it?
Off the ground, out of someone's mouth.
Oh. Wait, I've never heard that.
Listen,
the
I'm telling you
priest
the
has
truth.
to eat it?
Catholics back me up. Yes, 1,000%.
I remember learning either before First Communion or in one of my CCD classes that if you drop the host, the priest has to like re-bless it. Like he has to go.
Well, this kid didn't want to re-eat the thing, I don't think. You know, so they were screwed either way.
But you're saying the priest, the kid put it in his mouth.
Just throw it in the trash.
Took it out of his mouth. You Catholics do things. I'm not a Catholic. You guys are the ones that have to sort this out.
Aren't you like
I'm none of these
Presbyterian?
things.
No, what'd you grow up at?
Well, I grew up as a Methodist.
Yeah.
All
right.
Those are the
That
bad
makes
ones.
a lot of sense.
Why does that make a lot of sense?
You Methodists are a different kind of breed.
Methodists are the most open-minded of all of those different branches. of religion.
Non-denominationalists.
No, Methodists taking the gays, they taking everybody. That's why I told you before, they call them
They
Crystal
pray
Methodists.
over.
They hate these people, some of them. But I only went like 10 times maybe in my whole life.
You all have baptisms?
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah,
Oh.
I didn't have any of that stuff.
Enjoy
I
hell.
was stone cold about it. And in private school, every single Saturday or whatever, or Friday, I guess, when we did the thing where you actually go to the church and stuff.
Chapel?
The chapel. You can see how much attention I was paying at the school. When we went into the chapel, every single time they'd be like, if you're not saved, raise your hand, and
it's a whole thing.
We saved you, and every time, stone cold, I would just stare forward.
I don't want to be saved.
Never did it. Never went for it. Never got baptized. Never did any of that stuff. I'm rolling the dice in life. All right. If there's a hell,
as I walk by
I'm
during the
screwed.
next commercial break, I'm just going to bless you real quick. Baptism.
I might need a couple miracles myself, but they're investigating this now. We'll see if there's anything to it. My gut tells me no, that there's not anything to it. But maybe they come to a different conclusion. Let's hear from Concrete Mike. He's talking about this Amazon situation.
Happy Tuesday, News Junkie crew. So this Amazon guy that got shut down and sitting around his house saying he sat in the dark for a week. I picture Forrest Gump after Jenny left him, and then he sat on the front porch on the thing. He sat on the couch, sat around, just staring at the wall. That's what I picture what this guy was doing. This guy sounds like a total Gump.
Yeah, he does a little bit.
Total Gump.
That's a great movie, man. It holds up, too.
Mhm.
Here's Meathead Pie. Oh, great.
Guys, Colin here.
All right.
Yep, and we're done.
Stopping you there, and you get the frowny face, because I don't know what kind of phone would even record those noises. I don't know where that would even come from, sir. Listen back to your dispatches, please. Do not let us down on a Share the Show Tuesday. There's another miracle that we should speak of here briefly.
Let's go.
It's the miracle of childbirth. And for C-Lane, it is on the way. Before too long, he's going to have crying babies, diapers to change.
I got to go look at the baby after the show today.
Oh, you're doing another
look at that
an update?
baby?
Yeah.
Is it 3D time?
It's no, not 3D time.
The 3D one's weird.
It's gonna be, but no, this is the 20 week.
Oh, okay. Just another.
I think this is the one that we make sure it's got all its body parts.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Yeah, you want to do that.
I mean, we've already seen the most important one.
They said
the arm.
And in this case, they're talking about how much it cost to give birth. And there's a new thing out there. Well, maybe it's been out for a while, but it's called the Cost of Giving Birth Tracker. It's very specific, as you can tell. And they talk about how expensive it can be to deliver a baby and to have a baby at the hospital. And most expensive state, I don't, maybe this is because it's a state where there's not as many hospitals, or I don't know what it is, but Alaska is the most expensive state to give birth in.
Yeah, because nobody's there.
It might be that, because it costs $21,525 is the median price for somebody to have a baby in Alaska.
I mean, there might not be a whole lot of OBGYNs.
There might not
in
be.
Alaska.
Yeah, and that could be what drives this up. And then New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Massachusetts are the next most expensive.
But that's if everything goes smoothly.
Yes.
If you need your baby in the NICU for a couple days.
Oh, that's major expensive.
And friends of mine, I think it was just a year ago, that they had, I think, a week with their baby in the NICU, and it was upwards of, 6 figures.
Well, on the contrary, from the expensive option in Alaska,
Celine, you're going a little pale.
You and your wife could deliver this baby in the great state of Alabama. And it would only be $7,840 if you did it that way. A lot cheaper.
Why?
3 times less than in Alaska. I don't know. Again, I don't know where they come up with the pricing for this stuff. Like everything else in healthcare in the United States of America, it seems like they just draw numbers out of a hat. And that's how much you pay for this stuff.
Well, the number that they drew out of a hat for us is very low.
Oh, is it really?
good.
Oh, because of insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the insurance. You guys going to get like the big room and...
I don't know. I don't know if that's something that's already been decided upon. I know where we're going to do it, but I don't know... Is there a suite?
When you say where you're going to do it, you're going to the hospital, right?
Yes.
It's not going to be like one of those underwater deliveries.
No.
Though those are cool.
There was one at my house, my parents' house.
At your parents' house, somebody gave birth in the bathtub?
Yeah, their second child. Family friend of ours.
Were you there?
No. I was not there. But family friend of ours moved to North Carolina upon being pregnant with the second.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, we want to work with the same doula as we had before.
They want to do a water birth.
And my parents were like, you could stay in the house if you want for the month that you're preparing for the birth of this
nice
baby.
of them.
And then they were like, do you mind if we have the baby here, actually? And so
Getting a little asky now.
Yeah.
Can we use your bathtub?
And every year on the baby's birthday, we get the montage in black and white of them, giving birth in my parents' guest house.
Well, then we already have a place where we know.
Oh, they had a guest house.
Right. I mean, they could do it in the house.
I thought
if
this
not.
was
It
like
just- it happened. It's La Casita. It's a small little. It's a thing in the backyard.
I thought it might be the same place where you were taking a bath.
Right.
Oh, no.
You were going in there afterwards.
Or like if Ashley and I decided to ask Sean, like, could we use your upstairs for a month? I'm gonna birth the baby in there.
I mean, of all places, you're pretty close to the hospital.
Yeah, that's true. But they got that super insurance over there. They got that taken care of. And maybe get the suite set up. Man, I've seen some of them. I've seen pictures of people taking the, is it just like the birth room? I don't know what the hell they call it. Delivery room?
Yeah.
Whatever it is where you're staying this is all going on. And it's like a big space. It looks like an apartment or something. It looks like a decent place. Okay, when we come back, we're going to hear from you. Go ahead.
Somebody was telling me, I forget who, it was somebody recently too, about they were scheduled for after their delivery to have a steak dinner.
Oh, you serious?
Okay.
This Bootsy Moonshine over on YouTube says, I had to fill out a performance sheet or a preference sheet like a writer for a concert, asking me what artwork I wanted on the walls, what aromatics, what snacks I liked, even asked if I wanted to take a limo home.
Imagine setting all of that up and you get stuck in traffic and you have a baby in a taxi.
Jesus, that's fancy. My God. Okay, when we come back, I want to talk about something that's going on in the world of Rod Stewart, of all things. And it involves former President Trump. And I just want to see what everybody thinks about this, because I think there may be some different opinions on this. I really want to hear that. So we'll get to that plus you coming up next on the News Junkie.
Seeking attention in unhealthy ways way before the internet turned it into a six-figure career. Yeah, that's a weird thing to brag about, but proof is in the pudding. And alimony checks. It's the 30th anniversary of Real Radio 104.1. Thanks, because we couldn't have done it without you.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
What's happening, family? Hopefully your Tuesday's going well, and right now on the major highways and roads of Orlando, we're seeing a pretty clear traffic flow, but of course, your usual delay on I-4, that's east and westbound approaching State Road 535. Beside that, east and westbound of the 408 is clear, north and southbound of the Turnpike is clear, as well as the Greenway, and the rest of the major highways and roads are incident-free. Our Safe Touch Security traffic zipline number is 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Brian Black.
This report is sponsored by Fontainebleau's Summer Paradise Getaway.
Fontainebleau Miami Beach is your summer paradise getaway. Save up to 25%, plus receive up to a $100 resort credit when you stay 4 nights or more, June through September. The possibilities are endless. Book now at fountainbleu.com.
Packing for your summer road trip? Leave the travel guide at home and bring the Autio app along for the ride. Autio brings any drive to life with fascinating stories about the places you go, all narrated by expert storytellers. Browse through Autio's more than 10,000 fascinating location-based tales to inspire your travel itinerary and discover unique destinations along the way. Wherever summer takes you, make your next drive an adventure with Autio, the perfect companion for your next road trip. Learn more at autio.com.
Here's what a Fence Outlet customer has to say about their experience.
After the hurricanes destroyed our old fence, we took the advice of our neighbor and called Fence Outlet. They were fast and professional, and we love our new fence.
Check them out at fenceoutlet.com.
I had a radio listener call me after an accident. The insurance company offered him $700. He hired me that day, and we recovered $100,000. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Potential clients may not obtain same or similar results. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
Hey shoppers, this is your local farmer letting you know that Florida watermelon is in season right now. Look for the Sunny Fresh from Florida logo while you shop. We're going to need a lot more help at checkout.
Hello, Floridians. Today's a good day to do great things. Yes! Like scheduling the dentist appointment you've been putting off for 2 years.
Oh, man.
Like finally fixing that creaky door that drives you crazy. Like getting that massage you definitely deserve.
Oh, yeah.
Or taking time to make sure that your air conditioner is ready to beat the heat all summer long. Do something great today, right now, by booking your $159 AC rejuvenation at CoolToday.com.
Call today, cool today. CoolToday.com.
Second half of the year looking busier than the first? Hire with Indeed. Their powerful platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates in one place. Sponsor a job and immediately get a short list of quality candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
You gotta love the juice at Jersey Mike's. That zing of real red wine vinegar and olive oil blend is even better than the zing of a first kiss. No offense to Brenda DeMarche. It was a fine first smooch for me behind the bleachers. But there's nothing like when that zing of the juice hits your lips for the very first time. Years later, Brenda and I shared a Jersey Mike's sub with extra juice. We had a better time because neither of us had braces. Add a flavor zing with the juice. Jersey Mike's. A sub above.
If it's a day that ends in Y, you're probably stuck in Florida traffic. So turn that AC up one more notch, aim the vents toward your face, and think of a better place, like the cool, colorful produce section in your favorite grocery store. Why? Because that's where all the cool, colorful, fresh from Florida produce is. Produce just tastes better when it's grown closer to home. And when you buy fresh from Florida, you're supporting local farmers and jobs in our communities. So after you're done being stopped in traffic, pick up some fresh from Florida on your way home.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTR-CM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Need an oil change? Valvoline Instant Oil Change makes it easy. No appointment needed. Drive in, stay in the comfort of your car, and they will have you back on the road in no time. So why wait? Save $15 off your oil change at GetYourOilChange.com.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Preventive maintenance on all brands, and that saves you money and can detect an upcoming breakdown. Visit millsair.com.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you deserve better. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Because now we're finally figuring some stuff out. By the way, apologies to Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7. This has already happened for you, but you get the point, right? And I'm going to move on to something else, another twist on this in a second. But they said as negotiations have reached final stages, ABC News has learned that former President Trump is not expected to get a mugshot.
Oh, man.
According to sources. He's also not expected to be handcuffed, or here's a weird one, need to empty his pockets during processing. I'm not sure how they negotiated that one, but they're
so
like,
he can bring whatever he wants?
I guess so.
It'd be hilarious if they didn't make him empty his pockets, and the whole time he had a classified document folded up in either pocket.
This man liked these documents. He really wanted to have these documents. Now, of all the ones you see in the pictures, only a small portion of those were actually like top secret classified documents. But the other ones, it's like he just wanted them so if somebody came over, he could impress them. And I'll be honest, if I
Have you
was,
seen my classified documents?
like, if I was hanging out at Mar-a-Lago and Trump's like, you got to see this, you got to see my boxes, and he brings me over and show me some maps or something, I couldn't care less. Like, unless you said, hey, Sean, I'm going to show you proof that aliens exist. Now I'm in.
Count me
now,
in.
Now I'm following you, and I want to see what you got.
Apparently loves to show off. Like Pete Davidson went viral for talking about how it was to have him on SNL
Mm-hmm.
and that he like misread some line during the table read and called someone turkey legs.
Right.
But then another cast member, I'm blanking on her name, also said that in the middle of the table read, like that is common for any sort of TV show, he picks up a call and everyone is silent of the SNL cast, including Lorne Michaels. And he's like, all right, cool. Oh, great. That's good. Oh, yeah, my book just went #1.
He just wanted everybody to know.
All right, we'll get back to the table read that was scheduled.
Yeah, I think maybe this is just part of his personality. And so that's why he wanted, everybody has these like big ideas, like he was trying to sell the information to the Saudis. Or I think it's just who the dude is.
You have people over, and I would actually
check out my documents.
I would be the perfect audience for President Trump to be like, you want to come see some documents? Yes, let's do it. Show me the codes. I don't even know where to put them in. I will never see the keypad to put in the codes, but show me the codes.
And then you could, for like the rest of your life, go, I got some stuff, but I can't tell you, top secret. I'm not allowed to share that information. I can't divulge. I'm sorry. I'm not able to do this, but we'll see what happens there. It's going to be interesting, and we'll see how many people show up. We'll get into that and give us some crowd estimates and whatnot. Meanwhile, Rod Stewart, Sir Rod Stewart, my apologies.
How dare you?
Oh, my God. What was I thinking? Sir Rod Stewart said in a recent interview that his wife, who is Penny Lancaster, the model, that his wife banned him from being friends with Donald Trump because of his derogatory comments toward women.
Were they set to be friends or have been friends?
I think that they've met before. They're neighbors in the same area of Palm Beach, and Stewart has performed at several of the former president's casinos in the past. Their friendly relationship came to a halt when he married Lancaster, his wife, and Rod Stewart said, I used to go to his Christmas party, and the balls he held... Oh, excuse me. I used to go to his Christmas party, and the balls he held. But my wife said no. My wife said no. There was stuff he was coming out with that he was saying about women he had known in the past, and Penny said, you're not going, he's a disgrace. So he said basically his wife told him, you can't be friends with Donald Trump. You're not allowed to be friends with Donald Trump because of things that he said. And there was all kinds of people who were like, what a pussy Rod Stewart is. I can't believe he would let his wife boss him around and tell him what to do and tell him who he can and can't be friends with. These people must not be in relationships, okay? When I hear stuff like that, because when you're in a relationship with a person, if you want to be in a successful relationship with a person, you have to have some trade-offs, okay? And if your wife's like, hey, I don't want you to be friends with Donald Trump. All right, fine. Fine. I get one too then. If you have a friend that I think's really annoying, I'm going to say you can't be friends with her. People make these negotiations, deals, and trade-offs all the time. And also, the idea that he was banned from being friends with Trump, he could say no. He could go hang out with Trump. He could get a divorce if he wanted to.
He's Rod Stewart.
Yeah, he could.
Rod Stewart.
He just said, not worth it for me. I don't want to do it.
It's also very sus that we are getting this information. It's just amazing to me that you can have like over the dinner table at their mansion.
She bragged about it to some, she probably bragged about it to somebody.
And then we're hearing that. Like,
well, he told about this in an interview with Scottish Field magazine.
Ooh,
which
you don't subscribe?
I don't get that one. Maybe I should sign up, but that's where the information came out of. I bet almost all people who are listening to me right now who are in a relationship with somebody have had situations like this. Like, you know what? Your friend Danny, when he comes over and gets drunk, I find him to be really annoying. So let's not do the Danny thing. All right, you got a deal. That's how this works out. Because you're in a relationship with somebody. You have trade-offs. I told you the story yesterday about how Courtney is in charge of the remote. And she heard me talking about that yesterday. And so last night she's like, you want to watch that show? You want to watch the Alien Invasion show? And I said...
She did?
I said, no, I don't want to watch it.
Okay.
And I said, because you don't. And she's like, no, I really do. I really do. And so we watched like 4 episodes of it last night. It was good.
And?
Yeah, it was
Okay,
good so
cool.
far.
I feel like I had something to do with that.
Yeah,
There's
I
our
mean,
conversation as I was leaving. Put a little pressure. I'm sorry.
she felt bad, I guess, but she enjoyed it. She said she actually enjoyed it. And then I felt like she was doing the same thing that I did to her, where I was like overemphasizing things. She's like, "Whoa." Oh, this is neato. You know, like, everything is like, all right, I get it. You're enjoying it over there. But you make these deals. And I'm sure so many of you are like, yep, I had a friend of mine, and my wife said, he's not coming over to the house. If you want to hang out with him, out with him on your own, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't make you a pussy for not doing that.
No.
You make decisions.
Compromise.
Yeah, you make a decision as a partnership. And sometimes you do things like that.
I would say no. I'm Rod Stewart. I wrote Maggie May. I'm going to be friends with whoever I want to be friends with.
Maybe you just also didn't care that much about being friends with Trump.
Yeah.
Maybe he was like, this is not a huge loss for me. And if it wasn't, and this is a note to take for everybody in relationships, if somebody does come to you and say, hey, this person in your life, I don't want you to be hanging out with them, at least not around me. I don't want you to be friends with them. I don't think it's right. Even if you didn't care about it at all, you got to take the hit hard. You got to be like, oh, so I'll never be able to get close with this person that's so important to me, because then you got a little bit of extra negotiation power moving forward.
That's that's great advice, or what some people would call manipulation.
Sure, yeah. If you're not manipulating somebody in a relationship, you're not doing it
Noted
right.
for my next one.
Just for the record, you have to be manipulating each other and scoring points behind the scenes. Otherwise, it never works.
Whoa, that's a great idea, Sean.
This is the way things go. Everybody in a relationship knows exactly what I'm talking about right now. All these married people who've been married for like 20 years, they're like, yep, we have to do that. You get your points where you can. And even if it doesn't bother you, you make a big deal about it, or a moderate deal about it. But Rod Stewart says his wife has banned him from being friends with his neighbor, Donald Trump. I'm not sure they run into each other all that much.
Can I have a cup of sugar, please?
Yeah, like I don't think on Palm Beach you like run into your neighbors all that much in the areas where they are, because have you guys ever driven down Palm Beach where all the mansions are?
Absolutely. I have, and that in Star Island I went through one time.
Yeah, well, all those areas right around there, they have pretty good sized properties, and there is nobody who doesn't have like a big, beautiful privacy hedge running the whole distance
and
of their
a
property.
long driveway with the security gate.
Right, so it's not like in a regular neighborhood where you go, hey, neighbor, wave at them. Oh, we accidentally got your newspaper. That kind of stuff ain't happening over there. Whatever neighbors do, the interactions that normal neighbors have.
It depends. Is it my neighbors?
We'll
call the cops on each other.
You have one great neighbor, don't you?
I am surrounded by great neighbors.
And then the one that's kind of a dud.
Yeah.
A minor dud.
They're on their snowbird trip.
I have a dispatch from Eddie that says boo, but it was quickly followed up with disregard boo. So I should.
Well, now I want to hear boo.
It said boo is the first one, and then a couple minutes later it said disregard boo. A minute later, in fact.
Check them out at fenceout.com. I had a radio listener.
All right.
Okay, yeah, we should have disregarded that for sure.
Please disregard boo.
Okay, thank you.
Give him a prize.
We've gone on quite a journey, Eddie. You and me, buddy. Here we are. Okay, we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll hear from you. Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't his best stuff, but Eddie's going to be a great dispatcher in a short time. We got an email that we have to get to, and also more about what's happening down in Miami, and a whole bunch more, including we got to get to this at some point in time, this body cam footage from an officer that is just a jaw-dropping moment that shows you some cops aren't as good as the rest of them. We'll get to that in just a bit. It's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
You text us at 77031 and we say it on the air. Sometimes we might even give you credit. Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
What's happening, family? Hopefully your Tuesday is going well, and right now on the major highways and roads of Orlando, we're seeing a pretty clear traffic flow, but of course, your usual delay on I-4, that's east and westbound approaching State Road 535. Beside that, east and westbound of the 408 is clear, north and southbound of the Turnpike is clear, as well as the Greenway, and the rest of the major highways and roads are incident-free. Our Safe Touch Security traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Brian Black. Fleck.
This report is sponsored by Duke Energy. Storm season is here, and Duke Energy is ready, strengthening their systems, ready to respond to any outages quickly and safely, and to keep you informed with text and email alerts. Visit duke-energy.com/storms. That's duke-energy.com/storms.
Don't miss the boat, my friends. Compare your quote today. That mortgage guy, Don, president of Happy Hill Mortgage Brokerage and host of the Home Loans Radio Show, he is here for you. He has over 250 5-star Google reviews and 1,100 reviews at Experience.com. So I think it's very safe to say that Don knows what he's doing. And I can say with full confidence that Don is looking out for you. He has your best interest in mind. He's going to treat you like a friend and not like a number like the other mortgage companies. See, chances are very high that you're leaving money on the table. So get the money off the table and back in your hands where it belongs. Get a free fast quote review at thatmortgageguyDon.com. Hit the compare button, and Don's going to review your quote today. That mortgage guy, Don, he's a mortgage broker, not a corner bank or a retail lender, and that means he has direct access to wholesale lenders that consumers do not. If you want to see a difference, go to the website right now. Chock full of information for you, very easy to navigate through, and direct access to the man himself. Plain and simple. No spam, no hassle, just peace of mind. Check it out now. ThatMortgageGuyDon.com.
This September, our iHeartRadio Music Festival is coming back to Las Vegas.
September 22nd and 23rd at T-Mobile Arena.
Streaming live only on Hulu. Tickets go on sale Friday, June 16th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. But starting tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, Capital One cardholders can score tickets and other awesome experiences before anyone else for 48 hours only or while pre-sale tickets last.
Visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One for more pre-sale details.
What's in your wallet?
Here's what Fence Outlet customers have to say about their experience.
The Fence Outlet team is knowledgeable and professional. They have fair prices and they take care of the permits. I'm very happy with my Fence Outlet fence.
Check them out for yourself at fenceoutlet.com. License number C10252 and C10803.
Look, some choices in life are complicated. Others, thankfully, are much simpler. Like choosing Truist One Checking. There are no overdraft fees, lots of practical perks, and when your life evolves and account balances grow, we'll upgrade your perks automatically. Truist One Checking. One simple choice. Truist Bank. Member FDIC.
Tobacco-Free Florida knows how hard it is to quit nicotine, which is why we offer different quit options to choose from for free, like 24/7 quit coaches available over the phone and free 2-week starter kits of quit aids. We're even experimenting with 80s pop music.
I'm giving you up, I'm letting you go, I'm letting you never come back to smoke, never come back to smoke, I'll never come back, I'm giving you up.
Or maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
The new Smokin' Triple Stack at Firehouse Subs is stacked high with honey ham, smoked turkey, and slow-smoked beef brisket. To top it off, a portion of every purchase helps provide life-saving equipment to first responders. The Smokin' Triple Stack Sub. Get it for a limited time, only at Firehouse Subs. Participating U.S. locations, Firehouse of America, LLC, and Firehouse Subs suppliers together will donate 0.09% of purchases in 2023 at Firehouse Subs locations to the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation for the purchase of life-saving equipment with a minimum donation of $1 million.
Want to improve your marksmanship while saving ammo and saving money? Get better faster with the Mantis X Dry Fire Training System.
It's time to shoot tighter groups.
The Mantis X Dry Fire Training System.
Score 97, bang on the money.
The Mantis X is a smart sensor that fits any weapon with a rail or adapter, pairing to your smartphone or tablet. Analyzes your shooting and tells you how to improve.
Mantis.
94% of shooters improve after just 20 minutes.
X.
Go to MantisX.com.
MantisX.com.
Eating good is about more than just tasty food. Eating good is about doing good, too. And that's exactly what Fresh from Florida is all about. Supporting local Florida farmers, creating jobs in our communities, and of course, making sure you can enjoy all the fresh flavors Florida has to offer. Because produce tastes better when it's grown closer to home. So eat good tonight. Look for the Sunny Fresh from Florida logo where you shop. Learn more at followfreshfromflorida.com.
Packing for your summer road trip? Leave the travel guide at home and bring the Autio app along for the ride.
Autio brings any drive to life with fascinating stories about the places you go, all narrated by expert storytellers. Browse through Autio's more than 10,000 fascinating location-based tales to inspire your travel itinerary and discover unique destinations along the way. Wherever summer takes you, make your next drive an adventure with Autio, the perfect companion for your next road trip. Learn more at autio.com.
At SimpliSafe, we design award-winning security to protect every inch of your home. It's easy to set up yourself, and now there's an even easier option. Have an expert do it for you with SimpliSafe Pro Install. Always protecting, never a contract. 2 easy installation options, backed by 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplisafe.com/radio. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Injured? Hire the largest injury firm in the world. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Suspicious packages, potential bomb threats. Probably nothing, but there's a little drama swirling right now. I want to get to this real quick. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com, and this is from Frankenboner. Just in case you were wondering, I want to put that out there. Frankenboner says, I'm a podcast listener.
I mean, it has a stud through it at the...
I think so.
Alex, a boat.
I'm a podcast listener because I drive for a living. The other day, you guys were talking about finding money that was quote-unquote found. I had a friend tell me she saw that I had found money. So when I checked it out, the first thing they wanted was my social security number. I quickly exited. It made me nervous. But Sealang was saying he had used it. Just wanted to know if I should proceed without being scared of whatever. I have no idea how much or where it's from, but damn, I could use some more money. Thanks, Frankenboner.
You gave your social security for one of those, Sealang?
You can if it's the official one. Just make sure you're on the right one. The state of, whatever state you're in, but the state of Florida has a particular one. If you're listening in Dallas, state of Texas has one. Every state has one of these. And if you're on the official one, there's no problem putting your social security number in.
I don't remember if I put in my social or not.
No,
I don't.
You have other options,
I thought I just looked up by my name when I did it. But.
Yeah, I know I didn't. There wasn't required to have a social because I also looked up on behalf of my mother and my dad and probably my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
When you say on behalf, did you take all of their money?
No.
Oh, okay.
You should have.
I
would have done.
You need some. There's some paperwork.
You might have to eventually put in your social security number if you're going to claim one of the things that's on there. But just to search, I don't believe you do need that. Just make sure you're on the right website and that it's secure. Some of you out there are still so bad at interneting. Oh my God, I love you, but you got to get better at this stuff. Somebody yesterday on Discord, they're the sweetest person. They were really interesting. They worked for a long time doing landscaping at Disney and involved in that. And I was like, oh man, I got a lot of questions. And the guy didn't.
How do you make those ears on the bushes?
He didn't know how to change his profile picture. And I'm like,
okay.
And then he can't really explain it. It's, oh God. So it's difficult for some of you to navigate the interwebs. You need a little more, maybe there should be
a how-to? A WikiHow.
Is there an adult education class that teaches you more about the internet?
There has to be.
That would be useful, I think, for some.
I mean, I think they have classes. The internet would be a good overall one, but I think phones in general, there's classes that you can go to at the Apple store. That,
Oh, do they really have
show
that?
the old folks, all the memas how
They
to.
do. Oh, yeah. When you go to fix a product, I have been there waiting in line, and it's around one of the square tables. And everyone has their text message sizes as big as possible.
It's all zoomed in.
And you got one of the genius geeks explaining exactly how to do everything.
I remember there was somebody, I think it's a setting that they have on iPhones where it's basically the old people setting. And it makes everything big and it makes it less cluttered and it makes it easier to follow. All that, very, very valuable for some people out there, it would seem. Okay, I wanted to bring this up because I thought this was interesting, and I've heard this before. But there was a story about this woman who is 28 years old, and she said she was not interested in having a child, right? So she didn't want... to have a baby. I don't know why. Some of these Gen Z folks are scared of the world ending. I don't know what her reasoning was for not wanting to have a baby, but she didn't want to have a baby.
Not messing up the downstairs.
Maybe that. Maybe she just didn't. Some people just don't want to have a baby, and maybe she's that person. She wants to travel the world or whatever. Maybe she's very independent minded. But she goes in to the place and she's like, I want to get my tubes tied. And they say, all right. And they go through some paperwork. And then she goes into, I guess, the room with the doctor to talk about this. And they said, I'm sorry, we can't do this. We cannot tie your tubes because, we're worried that you might change your mind at some point and want to have a child. Now, I thought that was weird for a couple of reasons. One being, I'm pretty sure they can reverse that operation just like they can in guys when they tie your tubes, right?
I think it's harder to do in women than it is to do with guys.
But still like a possibility that they can restore whatever they do when they tie your tubes?
Yeah, but it really is a whole thing.
She goes in there. She said, I'm dead set. I know what I want.
It depends on what knot they use.
I'm 28 years old, and I absolutely want to get my tubes tied. And they said, no, we think you're going to change your mind, so you can't do this. And
That's ridiculous.
I'm like, even if you think, as a doctor, that it's a bad idea for this person to get this done, she's an adult. She's 28 years old.
You're also at the wrong doctor.
That's like
that puts in their personal opinion.
I know, but I think a lot of doctors do this in this area. There's somebody else that we know that I've heard from who's tried to get a vasectomy and said that doctors wouldn't give a vasectomy because they were
I think
worried.
he was like 18.
Yeah,
I think we're thinking of the same person.
Right. I've heard more. Yeah. I've heard people go through this and they go, the doctor won't do it. And my estimation is like, if you're an adult, and certainly 28 years old is an adult, your brain is functioning in the adult ways at that point, and you've decided to do something like that, there's no reason why doctors should turn that down. And then I wondered, is there other things like this that doctors would turn down? Like, there's a lot of women right now, and I don't know if this is the smartest idea or not. There's actually not enough research on this, but there's a lot of women who are going out and getting these DNA tests done. And they see that they have markers that make them more susceptible for breast cancer in the future.
Right.
And so they will actually get a mastectomy when they don't need one yet.
I have a friend who did that.
Because they want to do it because they're worried about possibly getting cancer down the road.
I mean, those tests, I can at least say for my friend who got double mastectomy and got implants afterwards. Her mom died of breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
She got the test, and it was like almost 100% chance that she was going to get it.
I forgot what the markers are, but there's like some sort of markers that they search for.
It's
And
pretty much
some
like-
some are like you have a mild and moderate chance of getting cancer. Some are like you have an elevated
Right.
chance of getting cancer.
And so, I mean, she just got it done without any sign of cancer, just based on that test.
And why would they be able to do that? But then if somebody wants to go in and get their tubes tied, they're like, well, no. Like in that case.
I mean, I feel like it's got to be a matter of going, all right, thank you for your opinion. I'm going to go see a different doctor.
Why? I mean, I guess now it gets into a weird territory. Should the doctor be able to say no?
So
it's not supposed to.
There is there's a comedian that I follow on Instagram who had a bit about this recently. It was either him or a friend of his that was going in to get a vasectomy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember whether or not he said the person was young, but he did say that the person had to go through and I don't know if this is the case for all vasectomies or if it's just at this place, they made the person go through a mental evaluation so that he could, he was of sound mind and body, whatever, and decided that, he doesn't want to have kids. He wants to have this vasectomy. And he goes, so that means if this dude is just whack, just crazy, like to a point where he would be unfit to be a parent, they go, you must procreate.
This is going to be perfect. That actually does not make a lot of sense. Yeah, the more you think about it.
It's the same as the antidepressants. I think they say that you can't fly a plane if you're on antidepressants.
Right.
So if you're depressed, you just fly the plane depressed.
Perfect.
With no medicine.
Love it.
Problem solved.
If today is the wrong day, then,
Alicia on YouTube says, I say good on her. She knows what she wants. I knew from a young age I didn't want kids. Still haven't changed my mind. There's a lot of people who feel that way.
And there's a lot of people, maybe they've considered having children and they have such an issue with their ovaries, whether they be like cysts or I can't name all the things right now where they have no choice but to get a hysterectomy.
Right.
And it's like to go through all those loopholes and then month after month go through like an incredible pain or discomfort or whatever else comes along with an odd menstrual cycle and not getting the option because someone wants to be like, are you sure you don't want to have kids?
I'm just wondering.
You sure about that?
Why is it that for these things, they have somebody sit down and like make sure you're mentally okay, but for other things that you could get done,
like a gun,
like you could get a gun, you could get a tattoo on your face. Nobody goes, let's do a mental health evaluation before this person turns their face into a giant collection of tattoos.
I think most worthwhile tattoo artists will not put a tattoo on your face if it's like your first one.
Right, but you've also seen a bunch of crazy people with tattoos on their faces. So
with really crappy tattoos.
Clearly there's some out there who are willing to just do whatever. EMEFQ on YouTube says, yes, I think the doctor has the right to not do the procedure in the same way a restaurant can refuse service and a lawyer cannot accept the case. I mean,
right, and that's fine, but like I said, in that situation, you go, all right, I'll go call the doctor that will do the
I don't want to force doctors into doing things that they don't want to do. So that's not my out here.
But the ethics also, you're just supposed to give your medical opinion. It's not like,
right.
Are you
well,
sure
they'll say that's
you
our
don't
medical
want...
opinion.
Medically? I mean,
they'll
say
say
it's more of a mental health thing.
Well, they would say it's our medical opinion that this is
that you're going
bad...
to want kids later.
Yeah, this is a bad decision at your age. You know, we think when you turn 30-something, your biological clock is going to blah, blah, blah. These are the kind of things that they would probably say.
And then you'll be a geriatric pregnancy.
I guess it's okay for the doctor to say, like, no, I'm not going to do this. You would just go, you don't want to go to a doctor to get a procedure that the doctor doesn't want to do, right? You don't.
True.
That's something that's pretty obvious, I think. It might be a clue that you need to find yourself another doctor. I'm just firmly in the camp of when you are an adult, when you're 18 years old, I don't care what you want to do as long as it doesn't have an impact on me and doesn't harm anybody else. You could do it. If people wanted to have their arms removed, I wouldn't give a damn. I don't care if that's something you're into, body modifications, all this stuff. That doesn't mean I think these are good ideas. I think they're terrible ideas, but you should be able to have the freedom to ruin your life. You should be able to have the freedom to make all these decisions for yourself. And if you wanted to be a 28-year-old woman who got your tubes tied, I don't know why anybody would stop you from doing that. Right? It just seems like a real dumb idea.
Says, my wife had this done in her 20s as a tech service. Luckily, she knew someone who knew a doctor that she could go to that would do it. Had to have a counseling session first, much like the vasectomy story. But doctor agreed to do it. Very common to be denied. We decided not to have kids after getting married. I knew someone who wanted to get their tubes tied, and the doctor refused because any potential husband in the future might want kids. So her future hypothetical husband had more rights than her.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's when you get a new doctor.
And then another person said, I had a vasectomy and I had to get my wife's signature before the procedure.
Really? Wow.
That's insane.
That's interesting. So, like almost like a joint bank account situation where they're like, we want to make sure both of you are
joint
on board.
testicles.
As a woman of my age, 56 years old. No, my age, I would be, if I were to get pregnant in the next 5 years, would be considered high-risk pregnancy.
Would it be?
Yeah. That's just after a certain age, I think in the 30s. Like,
right.
Because of, I think it's a little dated.
I think they're trying not to call it geriatric
Yeah,
anymore.
because the word
High
geriatric
risk.
sucks.
High risk.
No, the word geriatric is not good.
But, right now, I'm not trying to raise a baby by myself. I would like kids eventually. So a big thing going on is like freezing your eggs.
Right.
Or freezing embryos.
Have you considered doing this?
Yeah, I am considering it, and I would like
Did you
to
tell your mom
kick
she's going
off-
to have a grandsicle?
I would like to kick off the news junkie. Find Sabrina a sperm donor.
Okay.
This could go very,
you don't
very
want
bad.
I would never in a million years.
You don't want to ask that question.
You'll get free tickets to Motorhead. But it's something to consider, and and then in the future, if I were to freeze these eggs, do I have full rights to it? If I find a sperm donor and make them embryos, am I going to have a battle like
what's her name?
face?
So,
Yep,
Sophia
exactly.
Vergara. Yeah, went through that, and then I think didn't her husband win or something?
I don't remember.
they had an agreement. Like he wanted to use her embryos to make another baby, and she's like, "Nah, not into." All this stuff gets really, really complicated. I absolutely just want people to
I'm gonna freeze them and put them right here on my shelf.
I want people to have freedom on like a bad level, right? Because I don't like people who gatekeep things, right? Everybody who's an adult who's over 18 should be able to make all these decisions. And if they turn 32 and they got their tubes tied and then something happens where they can't reverse the procedure, then that's just how it goes, right?
Yeah.
Because you made this decision and now you deal with the consequences.
Like your lower
of it.
back tattoo.
Well, that's not going to be around for long. You won't be able to make fun of me for that forever.
Yeah, we can.
No, you can't. It'll be gone.
No, it was there. We had pictures.
Am I almost done with my arm? I'm working on that.
Wait, so are you covering it up or removing it?
I'm covering up the stuff on my arm. Well, I only have one tattoo.
I already have our first offer for sperm for Sabrina.
Okay,
That
well,
didn't take long.
Picture, I
Need a
want
photo.
financial status and your GPA from high school.
Isn't that the weirdest thing that they have places like that where you flip through the books?
I have a lot of friends that have used that.
And like you see the person's face and they're like,
And their
little
babies
stats.
are woof.
Oh, not good.
No, they're very cute
You
babies.
gotta get a good one. Okay, quick break. When we come back, the next episode with Sabrina.
That got
What's
weird.
coming up on the next episode?
What's on the next step? All right, let me start.
You got this.
Take two.
What's coming up on the next episode? Disney has the rights to Marvel, Star Wars, and now Mickey is working on acquiring the rights to a franchise that will have everyone screaming, "Oh boy!" For whom the bell tolls, you ask? Apparently anyone within a 15-mile radius. Plus, Pat Sajak is cashing in all his vowels as he prepares for retirement. All that and so much more coming up on the next episode.
And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7. It's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by Gringos Locos and SecuredRoofingAndRestoration.com. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James, Miguel, Mike, and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Rude Air Conditioning Weather Center, powered locally by Ferguson HVAC.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Allison Gargaro with a look at your Central Florida forecast. Afternoon highs today will be soaring to the mid-90s through the Orlando metro, with feels-like temperatures ranging anywhere from 100 up to 103 degrees. Make sure you're staying hydrated and take breaks inside the AC. This afternoon, we're monitoring a 20% chance for an isolated shower or thunderstorm. Always remember to depend on the Fox 35 Storm Team. I'm meteorologist Allison Gargaro.
This report is sponsored by Marco's Pizza. Cravings are satisfied and pizza prayers are answered with Marco's new Magnifico pizzas, loaded with Old World sausage and pepperoni. Try all 3 Magnifico pizzas at marcos.com. Available for a limited time. Marco's, pizza lovers get it.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Pool season is here, but open roles got you underwater? Check out Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Eating good is about more than just tasty food. Eating good is about doing good, too. And that's exactly what Fresh from Florida is all about. Supporting local Florida farmers, creating jobs in our communities, and of course, making sure you can enjoy all the fresh flavors Florida has to offer. Because produce tastes better when it's grown closer to home. So eat good tonight. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo where you shop. Learn more at followfreshfromflorida.com.
At Wells Fargo, if you accidentally overdraw your account, we give you an extra day grace period to avoid the overdraft fee. What if everything came with an extra day?
Sunday night and I have the Sunday scaries.
Honey, don't be scared. Every weekend comes with an extra day now.
All right. TGI Sunday.
It helps to have an extra day. When it comes to overdrafts, you can with Wells Fargo.
Visit wellsfargo.com/getextra to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. Subject to timing requirements and the bank's funds availability policy. Wells Fargo Bank N.A. member FDIC.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Home title theft. It's on the rise, and it's devastating if it happens to you. Listen to the alarming words of an actual home title thief.
I don't need to know your date of birth and social security number. All I have to do is go to public records, create a document, and file that document. And then I can borrow against the house or sell the house. You may have no clue until you find out that your house has been sold or till several loans or several banks are foreclosing on you.
For pennies a day, Home Title Lock puts a virtual barrier of protection around your home's title with 24/7 monitoring. The instant they detect any tampering, you'll get an alert, and that's bad news for home title thieves. So when's the last time you checked on the title to your home? Find out if you're already a victim with your free title scan and complete title report. $100 value free with sign up. Just go to HomeTitleLock.com and sign up in minutes. That's HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com.
Just a reminder for this and every 4th of July that the Rockets' red glare and the bombs bursting in air are brought to backyards across America by Phantom Fireworks. Visit fireworks.com for specials, coupons, and a location near you.
Massey Services Incorporated seeks a director, product management in Orlando, Florida, to implement new technology solutions, demonstrating understanding and providing oversight and thought leadership on technology implementations. This position requires a Master's of Science in IT Management or related, plus 3 years of experience in business or operations analysis. Requires 25% domestic travel. To apply, send resume to gheath@masseyservices.com.
Hi, welcome to the IKEA Midsummer Days. We're celebrating with fun in-store events for IKEA family members and lots of savings.
Oh, hi. I'm looking for extra chairs to host my pickleball team dinner.
We can help you save on that and more.
Great. And that flower crown looks amazing.
Come make your own in-store on June 23rd through 25th. Plus, buy tickets to the June 23rd Swedish Midsummer Buffet at your local store. Go to IKEA-USA.com/midsummer for more details. Offer valid 5/30 to 7/4. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary by store and online. See store on IKEA-USA.com for complete terms. Restrictions apply.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit NoTimeToWait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
So we no longer have our blue check mark.
Actually, it was a white check mark surrounded by blue.
Don't be that guy.
Okay.
We're still at Real Radio 1041 on Twitter, powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
All things happening in the world of entertainment and beyond. And if you miss any of the show, like our friends in Dallas who get the first 2 hours, you can get the rest of it over on the podcast. And thank you for your patience there. All the stuff that's been going wrong on the podcast is supposedly going to be fixed this week. They're working on it, the white noise and some of the other issues, and that will be resolved. Thanks for just being patient as we work through all of that stuff. But you can get the links at thenewsjunkie.com right now. All right. Let's get into it. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, and you can't possibly keep up with all of it. Even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
I'm a 4-year-old, all right?
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with Sabrina.
Hey, smoke weed every day.
Hold up. The next episode brought to you by That Mortgage Guy Don, thatmortgageguyDon.com, and of course the Home Loans Radio Show. Refinancing, buying your first dream home, debt consolidation, so much more. Start the process today with someone who has your best interest in mind. Go to thatmortgageguyDon.com. It was 8 years ago, 2015, This band right here, the guitarist of this band, it's not 4.
5 Seconds of Summer.
5 Seconds of Summer is correct. And in 2015, I'm just going to let the beat drop real quick because an itch needs to be scratched. And the guitarist for 5 Seconds of Summer, Michael Clifford, walked into the path of one of their pyrotechnics, much like my guitarist, Dirt, did.
Yeah, he got it right on the backside.
But instead of his butt, it was his hair that caught on fire, and the group ended the show. It was, hair is on fire.
That's happened to a bunch of people.
But he did not die.
Yeah.
So that's very good. 5 seconds of just a little bit of flame on the hair. And lived to tell the tale.
Very uncomfortable, though, I'm sure.
Someone who did die, though, is Treat Williams. He was killed in a motorcycle accident. And it feels more like a trick, but it is true.
When I saw this, I was
Treat
like...
Williams from Everwood?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I hadn't heard of this.
You recognize his face, though, right?
No, I didn't even recognize
really?
him.
See, I remember definitely him from Everwood, and he's been in a bunch of other things.
I don't remember him in anything else.
And at 71 years old, he was killed while riding his motorcycle in Vermont. And I guess somebody had, cut him off when he was making a turn. And boom, dead.
One of the news stories said Treat Williams is his name?
Yes.
Treat Williams dead in, what was it, horrific? Or they used
like his head fell off?
Whatever the adjective they used to describe the motorcycle accident was bad.
His capo was detated.
Got his big break in 1979 in the movie version of Hair.
All right.
And then more recently, and it's sad that they say more recently, with Everwood, that was in 2002 to 2006.
Yeah, I think
Not really very recently.
I fell in the wrong age gap to watch that show.
Have you seen Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead?
No.
Well, I guess he'll find out now. Heart of Dixie, Blue Bloods.
Yeah.
The Late Shift, Chicago Fire, and he was also in the Netflix musical Dolly Parton's Christmas of the Square, and in the universe Weird Humor. He also, back in 1988, starred in Joe Piscopo?
Joe Piscopo.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Piscopo. Who's that?
He's a Saturday Night Live guy, I think.
Yeah. Joe Piscopo, he was Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. That's from your time.
Yeah, it's from a little while ago.
When I think of Ebony, I think of a magazine I do not read. And when I think of Ivory, I think of a soap that floats.
I knew that you would know that quote. He was with Joe Piscopo in an underrated zombie buddy comedy called Dead Heat.
Oh, no.
Where his character's name was Roger Mortis. Like rigor mortis.
How did I miss out on that?
I'm going to watch it now. We are going to miss out after this year. Pat Sajak. Because he is retiring.
Yeah, he says he's retiring next year from Wheel of Fortune.
Goodbye after 41 seasons.
How old is he?
He is 500 years old.
Oh, my God. He
76.
looks good.
76.
76. This is a weird thing for me because I go, there is no easier job than being the host of Wheel of Fortune. They film everything on Thursdays and Fridays, I think, is when they film.
That's like a lot of them, though. I remember Family Feud. I was in the audience for 8 episodes.
And they just go and go and go. And
just Steve would change his suit.
Right.
Spoiler alert.
So they have this down to, they just film on Thursdays and Fridays, and they only film, I think, 15 weeks a year. And he was making good money. I
wonder why he's retiring.
I don't know.
I mean, you think he would do it until
maybe
you die?
Maybe he's not feeling well. I don't know. Maybe there's something else going on.
And I just really do not look forward to how they're going to get a bunch of celebrity hosts to circle in until they find the right one.
Let's toss that out there for people on the dispatch side of things. Who could actually take that job?
Rob Schneider.
And be good.
In that case, I will say Pauly Shore.
I don't know if they're going to be in the running for this. I don't know. Who would be the perfect person to be the new Wheel of Fortune?
Mario Lopez.
God, he is that kind of guy.
He does too much stuff, though. It needs to be someone funny.
Okay, all right.
He's not very funny.
Mark McGrath.
No, but
I don't want Frosted Tips.
You're naming the type of people who keep getting those shows. Those two host 45% of the game shows.
Left field, but they would do well. And I'm thinking.
I know who I think's going to get the job.
Go on.
You guys aren't going to believe me. You're not going to think this is right because you're going to think there's too much controversy around it.
Bill Cosby.
Not Bill Cosby. That would be
I can't even read.
That would be a brave choice.
Read it.
No, not Bill Cosby, not Kanye. But I think Ellen might be somebody they would go to.
I also think she's done with that crap.
Maybe, but if she wanted to do it easy peasy, like Drew Carey, just you can still trip on ayahuasca and hang out with your friends and host a TV show that old people watch. Easy.
Now, as far as completing the puzzle for Didn't Know You Were a Bully, we turn to, of all people, Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, she bullying people?
Well, she's now admitting to it. She, at some point in her childhood, and I don't know why this is coming out now, thanks BuzzFeed News and all of your giant pictures.
Well, you don't have to worry about them. They're not around anymore. BuzzFeed News is RIP.
This is what is resourced here.
If you go to BuzzFeed News now, it's just like a frozen in time thing.
What happened? What did I miss?
Went bankrupt. Like all of BuzzFeed News, like.
Oh, this is a lie. I feel like I'm giving fake news now.
They shut it down.
Well, she says back in the day they were pantsing people at a football game.
Oh, hold on. We could be confusing each other here.
BuzzFeed News.
There was a BuzzFeedNews.com that they totally shut down.
Oh,
BuzzFeed still exists, and it may be news from BuzzFeed.
In the section of the news. Got it. Well, she says they were pantsing people at a football game. She accidentally grabbed his underwear of this young man named Tyler. He got really embarrassed, and I feel really bad. I'm sorry. It's the next part that I find to be kind of strange.
All right.
She says she now admits she Googles him every once in a while just to be like, you all right? And I say, instead of reaching out to him personally and saying, you all right, you're just going to tell BuzzFeed fake news that you Google him.
Also, Tyler's doing just fine. His version of the story.
You don't remember being pants back in the day and just still thinking about it and perfect?
I mean, I never got pants like that. Like I never was the victim.
I pants
of that. But if you're him, you'd be like, Jennifer Lawrence pulled down my underwear one time. That's fine. That's an okay thing to deal with.
Not if you have a small ween or something.
If it was like some weird, ugly troglodyte pulled down my underwear, and they're not famous at all. That's not cool. You don't want that.
Who's super famous? This gal right here.
Sean.
It's gonna be all
Taylor Swift. I'm a gal
Taylor
sometime.
Swift is right. I appreciate that, Sean. And if you want to make a whole bunch of money in the local area, then have Taylor Swift in your town. They are now reporting, according to BuzzFeed fake news.
Once again?
The consequence that the Eras Tour is expected to generate how much in local spending as it makes its way around the country?
Man, I guess it would almost be like a football game, like an NFL game.
Yes.
I'm going to say...
The answer is right.
You
want me to give you some more details underlying that? So, in addition, we have about 12 million in ticket sales per show.
Damn it, man.
Swifties are also spending an average of more than $1,300 to attend those shows. That includes travel, accommodation, food, and other tourism-related expenses.
Jesus.
That's pumping money into local economies, and Taylor herself is estimated to make $10 million per show.
Every show she makes $10 million. That's wild.
And now they're saying this tour will generate how much in local spending? I'm assuming altogether.
Okay, so this is for every city, all told. Then I'm going to go higher. I'm going to go $200 million.
Okay, considering that she makes $10 million per show?
I don't know. This is my guess. That's what I'm going for.
That's a guess. I'm going to take away the great part. Ceiling goal.
$100 million.
Okay, so you went lower. It is $4.6 billion.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot of money. All right.
Shake that off. And big money
I will
is...
I refuse to.
Big money is headed in someone's direction. We have heard of Disney. Oh, boy.
I've heard of them.
Acquiring Star Wars franchise, Marvel, the franchise, all the franchisees. And as of, I think it was earlier this week, the WWE is now going to be a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they have had their broadcasts on Fox and Comcast USA, but it's officially ending. And starting October 2024, anyone can pick them up.
So they're just going to have the broadcast out there, and
No, someone has to acquire the rights to
oh,
it.
it's like probably like auction
It's
stuff.
going to be a battle.
Yeah.
So
Why do you want that? This has got a huge fan base.
Fox, NBC, Universal, USA Network are front runners for the re-up for the weekly WWE content, but it's not guaranteed. And I guess earlier this year, the rumor circulated that Warner Brothers Discovery could be interested in that. That was shut down. Now, WWE is, you know what? Just the wrestling. WWE is getting $265 million a year from Comcast for Monday Night Raw. Another $205 million per year from Fox for Friday Night SmackDown. And then they say there's WrestleMania level shows in Saudi Arabia. We don't have the number for that, but it could be a lot considering the Gulf.
And that's a lot of content when you get WWE. That's every single week, multiple shows. It's a lot.
$1 billion.
If you like that sort of thing.
Right.
For me, I'm like, oh, wow. No.
WWE. $1 billion from Peacock, by the way, that doesn't expire until 2026. And now they say the front runner is Disney.
I can see that.
Can't you, though? Like on Disney Plus, that kind of...
They'll probably keep their own app because I think they
content?
have their own app that does all the streams and pay-per-views and stuff.
But could you imagine also we have John Cena and then like Goofy comes out and body slams him?
If they did some cross-promotion, that could
be a little
funny,
weird.
yeah.
But Disney is viewed to be a win-win if that ultimately is the decision, and I can imagine that happening very quickly. And my time has run out, so shall I give you the boob tube?
Sure.
You don't want it?
No, give it to us.
Here it is! But for me, for Orlando Weekly Best Of, it's still going on. Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals. TNT, America's Got Talent on NBC. Beat Shazam. Don't forget the lyrics, as well as the stand-up special Amy Schumer Emergency Contact on Netflix. Writer's Strike continues, and you follow your dreams and me on Instagram at Sabrina Ambra. Most importantly, stay with me, America.
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you, Sabrina.
Didn't realize the John Cena clip was so short.
In the world of AI, there's been a lot of advancements, and now we have a new one that we can play with, a brand new one that's been released by Meta, and also a band is doing something with AI that just seems like it should be illegal, and it's coming up next on the News Junkie.
The audio version of a Live, Laugh, Love wall decoration that's been set on fire. Real Radio 104.1.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
What's happening, family? Hopefully your Tuesday's going well, and right now on the major highways and roads of Orlando, we're seeing a pretty clear traffic flow, but of course, your usual delay on I-4, that's east and westbound approaching State Road 535. Beside that, east and westbound of the 408 is clear, north and southbound of the Turnpike is clear, as well as the Greenway, and the rest of the major highways and roads are incident-free. Our Safe Touch Security traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Brian Black.
This report is sponsored by Marco's Pizza. Cravings are satisfied and pizza prayers are answered with Marco's new Magnifico pizzas, loaded with Old World sausage and pepperoni. Try all 3 Magnifico pizzas at marcos.com. Available for a limited time. Marco's, pizza lovers get it.
Call today, cool today. Visit cooltoday.com.
Hey shoppers, this is your local farmer letting you know that Florida watermelon is in season and available in the produce section right now. Whoa, hey, careful now. There's plenty of juicy watermelon and other tasty Florida-grown produce for everyone. I mean, all you have to do is ask for Fresh from Florida or look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo while you shop. We're going to need a lot more help at checkout.
With the Autio app riding shotgun, every road trip is an adventure.
Autio is my traveling companion. It's educational, entertaining, funny. It makes the drive come to life.
The Autio app automatically plays you stories about the natural wonders, local legends, and fascinating histories outside your car window, with over 10,000 unique stories from coast to coast.
I've learned more about my hometown from the Autio app than I did growing up here.
Autio, the perfect companion for your next road trip. Learn more at autio.com.
If you own a business with at least 5 employees and were operational during COVID, then you could be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund up to $26,000 per employee. This is not a loan, and you do not need to pay this back. Visit governmentaid.com today. Their team of ERC experts will navigate this complex process and file on your behalf. They've helped tens of thousands of businesses obtain billions. Act today. Visit governmentaid.com to see if your business qualifies.
Here's what a Fence Outlet customer said about their experience.
We signed with a one-man and a truck fence company because we thought they offered us a great deal. We paid them 50% up front, and then 2 days later he came out, removed our fence, one side of our neighbor's, and installed a few posts. He had us pay the other 50% and said he'd be back the next day. Well, the guy never returned to finish the job, and we couldn't get a hold of him again. We later reached out to Fence Outlet and wished we had gone with them in the first place. We had no idea how often this happens to people.
Go with a company you can trust. FenceOutlet.com. License number C10252 and C10803.
At Fifth Third Bank, we give you free checking, never have hidden fees, and help protect your identity.
Oh, really?
Yep. See, our name equals 166.7%, so we put in that much effort.
Well, my name's Jim, so I guess I'm headed to the gym, and I'm gonna put in 166.7% effort too.
Aw, I'm proud of you.
No one's ever been proud of me.
This is banking a Fifth Third better. Fifth Third Bank, National Association member FDIC.
Hey, Monster fans, Russ here. You know what is really scary? Utility rates. So let's talk about solar. You may have seen solar popping up all over the place. Well, there's a good reason. One is utility rates are rising. Two, government incentives can dramatically lower the cost to solar. So if you want to go solar, call Solar Source. Monster fans get special access to their new solar estimate tool. Visit solarsource.com/monsters. That's solarsource.com/monsters.
If you ride a motorcycle in Florida, someone can hit you and hurt you and legally not have insurance to pay you. Uninsured motorist coverage can help save you from financial ruin. Injured on the go? Just call Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Did you miss the open enrollment for health insurance? Did you enroll into a high deductible, limited network marketplace plan? It's not too late. You can still change your plan at any time. The folks at USABG's Freedom of Choice plan are available now. This plan puts most of your coverage right up front, where you only meet a deductible if you go into a hospital. You pick your doctors, and it's 30 to 60% lower than Obamacare. With USABG's Freedom of Choice plan, the monthly premiums are not tied to your income, so there's no surprises at tax time. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employment coverage is just too expensive, call USABG today at 321-380-4540. That's 321-380-4540. Or go to USABGFlorida.com. That's USABGFlorida.com. USABG's Freedom of Choice plan. They can customize a plan managed by you, not the government.
If you're the victim of a car crash, never rush to settle with the insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar Levine. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
In Office Orlando.
Pool season is here, but open roles got you underwater? Check out Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because clients and character matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Now, your chance at a trip to our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Text the nationwide keyword festival to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's festival to 200-200.
Everything is happening out there. I said there was a suspicious package in Miami at the courthouse where all this Trump stuff was going on, and we got an update on that. Apparently, the suspicious device at the Miami courthouse was just a TV box that was misidentified, and it said law enforcement and DHS have since used the initial reports to expand the perimeter around the courthouse and push protesters away.
I mean, I feel like a TV box is pretty apparent that it's a TV.
What's a TV box? What do they mean? Do they mean just like a literal
box that a TV comes in?
Like you purchase a TV and
usually those are pretty
like you look at them.
Apparent.
Yeah, it wouldn't sneak up on you and say,
however, I mean, you do have to check on stuff like this because what if somebody, I don't know, put a bomb in a TV box?
Sure, yeah, and they're on edge. And also, you got to understand one thing that goes on at these. If they get any excuse to say this area is more dangerous than we thought, and which is what they just did, and they expand their perimeter, now they've expanded their perimeter and pushed protesters away because of a television box.
I'd love that they ordered a TV right to the courtroom, though.
Yeah, what happened with this? This is very weird, but that's what the whole suspicious package thing was about. 99% of suspicious package reports are just that. But there are some characters out there outside the courthouse. This guy seems to be pretty patriotic, I think, He's got a whole get-up going.
For him.
It's so hot today. I can't imagine how gross underneath that jacket is.
I mean, he's Uncle Sam, and he's like the age of Uncle Sam, too, so it works out. And I think he's singing. Let's see what he says.
Trump fought the law, but we know Trump won.
Okay.
They dissed our leader, and it feels so bad. The best is yet to come.
Boy, he's on a hoverboard?
He's the best president we ever had. Trump fought the law, but we know Trump won. Trump fought the law, but we know Trump won.
I mean,
I don't think we know that.
Really be picking the song that is about the law winning and
before the case?
I don't know if you paid attention to the words, Sean, but he, in this version of the song,
Trump
the law
won.
doesn't win.
Yeah.
Trump wins.
But your head is still saying the law won. I don't know. You might want to pick another song to do your little parody of, but he's out there courthouse. There's some interesting characters that come out of the woodworks when anything like this happens. What else? Oh, there's a bunch of other things that we need to get to about the whole indictment situation and the actual incident of Trump turning himself in, but we'll put that on the sideline for a second because I want to talk about AI for a moment. There's another tool out there, and this is on the heels of Google's tool that they said was their text-to-music generator. Now there's one from Meta, and it's called Music Gen. And they said this can take a description such as 90s R&B with a more prominent bass and turn it into 12 seconds of audio output that will match whatever
a whopping
you put
12
in there.
seconds?
They're not very long songs yet. Hang on, let me see if I can get this website up because it's an AI music maker, and eventually this will be super important, I'm sure. Replace all the actual musicians out there.
It's like hit clips are coming back.
Kind of, yeah. These are very, very short. I'm going to the actual website here. I need the sample page. And they got some samples of what they've done.
Give them something obscure.
I can't do it.
Oh, you can't?
The way this is set up, like I just can see what they did, and we can check it out and listen to it. So here's 90s rock song with electric guitar and heavy drums, and they put that into their AI over at Meta, and Music Gen spit out this.
It's not very heavy drums.
Was that vocals?
Yeah, it sounded like really muted vocals. I think we're still in the exploratory phase here. You want to hear another
it sounds
one?
good because we've used one of those AIs before, and then after giving them a prompt, it did sound like it was coming from an AM radio station.
Yeah, it wasn't good quality. This one says an energetic hip hop music piece.
All right.
With synth sounds and strong bass. There is a rhythmic hi-hat pattern in the drums.
I'm all about that.
And it spits out this. Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
Hey. Wait. It stops. That's longer.
That's
sounded kind of catchy.
Go again.
Does it sound like something
That's
else?
a real song.
I know it.
I don't recognize it.
It's usually on an organ.
Yeah, it does sound a little bit like that,
So
actually.
they're stealing.
What it is.
Well, sometimes they show
Plagiarism.
the source material.
Sue 'em.
So hang on. All right, this is the source melody. This is what they used to get to whatever they created with AI. Beautiful.
Okay, so Meta is still sucking.
Well, no, that's what they fed into the system, and then they said, "Now use that and give me a '90s rock song with electric guitar and heavy drums." Yeah.
Okay, but any musician could do that as well.
I know, but you don't need the musicians if you do it this way. The other one that you said sounded familiar. This was the source melody on that. Yeah, you're right. It was this thing.
Yeah.
This is what they put in, and then it took this and remixed it through AI to create some new stuff. So Meta has released that.
You
and
did it.
They're pushing
Meta.
forward. I don't know what the ultimate goal is here, just to create a huge music-generating AI, maybe, but there it is. Meanwhile, this is a sin, and lots of people are rolling over in their graves. According to Paul McCartney, in an interview on BBC Radio 4, Paul McCartney said John Lennon's vocals were lifted from an old demo and used to finish a previously incomplete song. The track is slated for release this year in what McCartney called the last Beatles record. So they're going to use AI technology, and they're going to do another song with John Lennon and Paul McCartney together. They said it's going to be Now and Then, which John Lennon recorded in the late 1970s in his New York City apartment a few years before his murder. Speculation around an eventual release of the track, which has also been called Miss You and I Don't Want to Lose You, has been around for decades. And Paul McCartney is saying they're going to use AI to finish this off. Oof. Not sure that John Lennon would be thrilled about this. Yoko Ono, she's chimed in, though. Yoko Ono says, I thought this was a song which would release people from their sorrow of losing John. By listening to the song, they will eventually be able to release their sorrow and arrive at an understanding that actually John is not lost to them.
Oh, so she's getting paid for it.
It sounds like she's on board.
Yeah.
So if she's on board, there must be some kind of connection.
I mean, if they're using his old vocals, it's not really too different from what Paul McCartney was been doing in his shows. For the encore, he would sing I've Got a Feeling, and it was a virtual duet with video and vocal tracks of John Lennon during the Beatles rooftop concert from 1969.
Was it AI, or was it just singing with the video?
He was singing
timed
along
up?
with old footage, timed up.
Which is kind of cool. But I think that's more acceptable than when you involve AI, especially if this is not quite as bad, because this is not a song that he never sang. Like, if you just take John Lennon's vocals and put him on a song that he never sang in his life, and all of a sudden now you're like, last Beatles album, here we go. That seems
John
like
Lennon singing Baby Shark.
the thing that people don't
Baby.
realize. Actually, this might
can't do it.
this might be something a lot of people disagree with. To me, AI is not art, no matter what form of AI it is. If you have AI generating some beautiful picture or whatever, generating music, it's not art. Because art, as I would define it, involves a human being creating something. Not by a text-based input, but via their own creative skills, painting a picture, taking a photograph, writing a song, singing a song, doing all of those things. And this is just something else entirely. So there's not soul behind it. There's not an actual person. And it's probably something we'll have to argue over and over until AI just becomes the thing that wins all the battles. But Let's see what we got here. Let's go over to a couple of dispatches. Some people chiming in on who they think should host Wheel of Fortune after Pat Sajak loses or leaves. Yes, a doctor
Loser.
Get out of here, loser. Here's Yes, a doctor listens.
Hey guys, I think the perfect person to replace Pat Sajak would be Will Arnett from Arrested Development. He'd be great at it.
I could see that.
I actually thought about that during the break for whatever reason.
I could see him doing that. I want to watch that Smart List thing.
All the clips I've seen, it seems very funny.
Yeah, I saw.
Is it in black and white?
Yes, it is. That part's a little annoying. I don't love that they did the whole
Artistic
thing.
choice.
I mean,
guess.
you can't just do a couple scenes like that. Do we have to do the whole thing in black and white?
Like, there was a joke about what Will Ferrell was wearing. Spoiler alert. And
Christopher.
And because he was wearing like a blue tux or something like that, and
Right.
I was like, I didn't even know it was blue.
You can't get the joke because you can't see.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like Sean half the time.
I saw a clip from it, and they were laughing. All of them were laughing a lot, and I had it on mute, so I have no idea what they said.
So
But it makes you laugh looking at them.
Yeah,
laugh.
they were having fun. It was like room service or something.
Oh, yeah.
See, if
'Cause Will Arnett is a big boy who likes food.
some people don't like the podcast Smartless because they're like, oh, they spend so much time ripping on each other that that they don't get enough out of their guests. Like they have these really
Welcome
good guests.
to our show.
Well,
that's what people like.
Here's the thing. Yeah, that's what I like about Smartless because I find the three of them, especially Arnett and Bateman, to be very funny, and they have a great relationship.
Just not a fan of the gay one.
Yeah, wow.
I like him. I just
Pride Month, no less.
He wasn't in Arrested Development.
Unbelievable.
It was fine. Keep putting words in my mouth. But if you like that part of the podcast, you'll love this because they don't even show the whole time with the guests. It's mostly them interacting and them behind the scenes. And the most fascinating part was I think the first or second episode, they have a show that is a dud.
Oh no, it doesn't go well.
And some of their fans are assholes.
What did they do?
The early show that day had a really good guest, Conan O'Brien, I think. Lots of laughs, very, very funny. And then the second show of the night, like the night show, they had like a scientist as the guest.
I could see how that could go south.
And like for the
and it wasn't Bill Nye the Science Guy.
No.
right?
And for the podcast, it would be like, okay, they're just gonna get a lot of sciencey stuff out of them and still get some interesting things. But for the audience, these people, I mean, and I'm sure it was edited carefully to kind of push the story home, but these people did not like this guy, and they were like, "This is boring." They left. A bunch of people
were walking out.
People were leaving, and they were like, "This was a dud."
You learn your lessons from those duds.
Oh, and they had to like rethink how they did the rest of their guests. Like, make sure it's somebody that's huge and funny, and then if it's not, we're gonna bring more famous people to kind of
like,
help ourselves out and
prop
then
yourself up a bit.
And like they did a Q&A before one of the next shows, and the people were like, yeah, what were you thinking bringing that guest in? That was awful.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh yeah, cool, we hadn't thought about that. And as they were leaving, one of the people was like, yeah, I wish I would have gone to the other one because I didn't like AOC. I was like, these people, these are your fans that came to meet you after the show and tell you that they thought it sucked.
They're brutal.
Like, these people are terrible.
Yeah, you guys can't do that. Everybody who's hanging out with us right now, don't do that.
Yeah.
We're sensitive. We don't want to hear any of that. Let's go over to Justin with a dispatch.
What up, y'all? Share the show Tuesday. Woo, 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 woo. So,
okay.
Pauly Shore, Rob Schneider, or just throw this out there, Bobby Bones. I feel like the guy's pretty cool. I don't know if he's officially had his own, like, long-standing show, but he's got a lot of them out there. Mario Lopez, too, maybe, for the Latino folks.
He's hosting everything.
It's a
Mario
big sound
Lopez.
guy, dispatcher.
But Mario Lopez, I don't ever feel like he has a real personality.
He's a robot.
I feel like he's
a
just
very
like
good-looking robot.
a vessel. Like, And I also think this. I'm sorry if
Ryan
anybody's.
Seacrest. I knew you were about to say it. I knew without even finishing that sentence.
Ryan Seacrest. Like, what do we know about Ryan Seacrest? Do we know anything about Ryan Seacrest, or is he just
He's
constantly like reading a script?
Extremely rich.
Yes, he is very, very wealthy,
And
he
if that's
works
all
hard.
it takes, give me the scripts.
No shame on him because he's a hardworking guy. But like, what do you know about that guy? You don't know anything about that.
But do you want controversy attached to this, like,
You don't have to
nighttime
have-
game show
But
television?
It doesn't have to be controversy. I just get the feeling like, I don't know, maybe it's just because Pat Sajak's been around for so long. I get the feeling like you kind of know who he is a little bit.
Well, but then again, think about the last couple years that he makes the headlines for being a dick.
He has been a dick a couple of times.
And
I think
he's-
that people are out for Pat Sajak
They
for some
are,
reason.
but which
They're out
makes
for
you
everybody.
think you need a vanilla host.
Yeah, that's
or
what they'll
someone
do.
Oh,
who's
so you
going
think it needs to be a white guy?
Vanilla in personality? Thank you. I actually think it should be
returning fire
I
at
do
you.
think it should be a person of color.
Oh, why?
Because they haven't had a person of color in that role.
There's not been anybody else in that role, I don't think, except for Pat Sajak.
You asked why, and that was the first answer that came to my mouth. I think it should be me. How about that?
I think that it is like a beautiful job. Like this kind of thing is you could just cruise, and they make a lot of money.
But after, okay, you think cruise because 15 weeks out of the year,
Mm-hmm.
but how about a 15-hour day?
That's tougher, of course. But
Sounds exhausting. I feel like the headlines, like those clips that he's a dick, it's because after 11 hours, he's like, we have to do yet another
What about
show.
this? What if iHeart said to us, you guys can do the show and you could just do it on Thursdays and Fridays.
How much of a raise do we get?
You get the same exact amount of money.
Okay.
You do 10 hours each of those days. I would.
That's like our hurricane broadcast.
Yeah, so-
Can we be drunk for the last 5?
We're going to be drunk no matter what.
All
Because
right.
that's a long time talking. We're going to run out of things to discuss.
Honestly,
at some
I
point.
100% run out of things to say.
I think that if they gave us a Tuesday through Friday, that we would be able to put together a Monday, no one would know the difference.
Probably not. They don't know that we're not live right now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
let's tell them the truth. This is actually pre-recorded from 2 months ago.
Yeah, we think that this Trump thing is going to happen, but it might not. And we might sound like real buffoons if this one doesn't line up with the timeline we're expecting here.
If nothing was going on with Trump in the news today, we would have played like the Joey Lawrence version of the show.
Probably. Let's go over to a couple of these. Here's that tie-dye chick who says, I'm dog sitting.
Hey, good day, junkies. So my boyfriend Carl and I are on day 3 of dog sitting my mom's 2 Great Danes. her
Remember day 3,
4-year-old
Celine?
Celeste and her 3.5-month-old Samson.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is we already have 2 Great Danes.
Uh-oh.
Our 9-year-old Brutus and our 3.5-month-old Misha. So, Sean, whenever you're dog sitting your sister's dogs and you were, being like, oh my God, all the barking, it just made me giggle.
4.
After having 4 Great Danes bark at the same time.
Damn. There's a neighbor not too far from me that we walk by their house when we're walking lady through the neighborhood. And I don't know what kind of dog they have because I've never seen it, but it's one of those dogs that barks and it's like
You can hear.
yeah, like
scary.
It scares you a little bit, like your spine shakes a little bit when you hear the noise this thing is making.
And then you hear Carl bark, and it's like, I feel like my ears are about to bleed.
It's a totally different note. You still in dog sitting territory over there?
Yes.
Because she said she was
Okay.
on day 3.
After, squatters' rights, that after a certain amount of time, they're part of that house. I feel like we're going into those territories where guest dog is now.
Oh, guest dog's permanent
Official.
dog.
No,
Yeah.
guest dog is not permanent.
Guest dog has been there for so
There's
long.
actually an end in sight, actually.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Are you
so,
sad?
Well,
Yeah, I'm gonna miss that little barking, crying.
I don't
pooping.
feel that you are. I think you
gonna
might
miss that
be.
dog.
It makes you love your sweet dog even
I
more,
gotta
though,
tell
right?
you, it made me realize how freaking low maintenance Lady is after the other dogs left.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't have to do anything. This is the easiest thing in the world. I'm actually poking Lady. I'm like, yeah, you're being too boring.
Yeah.
You're sleeping too
Go
much.
pee somewhere, then I step in.
Go do something, please. Quick break. When we come back, we're going to get into this police officer who did the unthinkable. Wait to hear this story. All caught on body cam. It's not what you're expecting, but it is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Something on your mind? Text us at 77031. Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
What's happening, family? Hopefully your Tuesday is going well, and right now on the major highways and roads of Orlando, we're seeing a pretty clear traffic flow, but of course, your usual delay on I-4, that's east and westbound approaching State Road 535. Beside that, east and westbound of the 408 is clear, north and southbound of the Turnpike is clear, as well as the Greenway, and the rest of the major highways and roads are incident-free. Our Safe Touch Security traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Brian Black.
This report is sponsored by Jeff Martin Auctioneers. Jeff Martin Auctioneers presents the Kissimmee Construction and Transportation Live Auction on June 22nd, featuring heavy construction equipment, trucks, trailers, and more. Bid your way live on-site or online at jeffmartinauctioneers.com. Experience the difference. License AU 4483.
This September, our iHeartRadio Music Festival is coming back to Las Vegas.
September 22nd and 23rd at T-Mobile Arena.
Streaming live only on Hulu. Tickets go on sale Friday, June 16th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. But starting tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, Capital One cardholders can score tickets and other awesome experiences before anyone else for 48 hours only or while pre-sale tickets last.
Visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One for more pre-sale details.
What's in your wallet?
If you own a business with at least 5 employees and were operational during COVID, then you could be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund up to $26,000 per employee. This is not a loan, and you do not need to pay this back. Visit governmentaid.com today. Their team of ERC experts will navigate this complex process and file on your behalf. They've helped tens of thousands of businesses obtain billions. Act today. Visit governmentaid.com to see if your business qualifies.
The Home Depot and Behr are there for pros and now offer same-day or next-day delivery on top-rated Behr paints, stains, and primers. Get the most trusted paint brand in America delivered straight to your job site and spend less time stressing and more time painting. Contact a Behr Pro Paint Specialist to schedule your paint delivery today. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. Limitations may apply. Not available in all markets. See store for details. Ranked most trusted paint brand based on 2023 Life Story Research.
My fellow Americans, R.C. Hill here from R.C. Hill Mitsubishi. I think it's high time we celebrate and break free from your old ride and declare your independence in a nicer, newer car for just $7 down. Have you been feeling put down? Then it's time to let freedom ride. So keep your cash and drive a new 23 Outlander for just $7 down. So kick your old ride to the curb and let freedom ride for just $7 down. But hurry, this celebration ends soon. I'm R.C. Hill, your car dealer next door. Get free at rchill.com.
I'm back! And look at all the fresh from Florida produce I brought home. You have heard of Fresh from Florida, right?
Fresh I have.
That's refreshing to hear.
Fresh from Florida produce is fresh as fresh can get.
And if we're going to freshen up daily meals, it's refreshing to know that locally grown Fresh from Florida produce is available year-round.
Well, that's a breath of fresh air. Got anything else?
I'm fresh out.
Look for Fresh from Florida where you shop. Learn more at followfreshfromflorida.com.
Packing for your summer road trip? Leave the travel guide at home and bring the Autio app along for the ride. Autio brings any drive to life with fascinating stories about the places you go, all narrated by expert storytellers. Browse through Autio's more than 10,000 fascinating location-based tales to inspire your travel itinerary and discover unique destinations along the way. Wherever summer takes you, make your next drive an adventure with Autio, the perfect companion for your next road trip. Learn more at AUTIO.com.
It happens in a matter of seconds, but the aftermath can last a lifetime. Car crash, slip and fall, there's only one Mo you should call, the Mo you know. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
There's nothing like holding a freshly grilled Jersey Mike's cheesesteak. It's even better than holding a winning $1 million lottery ticket. For starters, Uncle Sam takes half. Then you buy some useless stuff, like a tiny suit of armor for your cat. And before you know it, your sister's cousins and Uncle Frankie come knocking on your door for handouts. Bing, bang, boom, you're back to zero. So if you want to play a winning number, order a number 17 Mike's Famous Philly. Freshly grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing, a sub above.
Want to improve your marksmanship while saving ammo and saving money? Get better faster with the Mantis X Dry Fire training system.
It's time to shoot tighter groups.
The Mantis X dry fire training system.
Score 97, bang on the money.
The Mantis X is a smart sensor that fits any weapon with a rail or adapter, pairing to your smartphone or tablet. Analyzes your shooting and tells you how to improve.
Mantis.
94% of shooters improve after just 20 minutes.
X.
Go to MantisX.com.
MantisX.com.
Welcome back. Dave and Herb here, and we're talking fresh.
Fresh from Florida, that is. Dave, tell our listeners about the produce that's in season.
There's tomatoes, broccoli, watermelon, frappers, spinach.
Wait, hold it. You're just putting fra in front of produce.
Yeah, as in fresh from Florida.
Produce tastes better when it's grown closer to home. You don't need to make up words.
Really?
Ugh, friends, visit followfreshfromflorida.com to see what's in season.
Don't you mean .from?
Ugh, really?
Storm season is here, and Duke Energy is ready. With innovative technology and new ways to reroute power to help prevent outages in all kinds of weather. We're strengthening our systems, ready to restore power quickly and safely, while keeping you informed about outages with text and email alerts. It's all part of building a smarter energy future for you. Paid for by Duke Energy shareholders.
Second half of the year looking busier than the first? Hire with Indeed. Their powerful platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates in one place. Sponsor a job and immediately get a short list of quality candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Hi, I'm Joel Osteen. I've learned that you'll never meet the right people unless you get rid of the wrong people. Life is too short to hang around people that are pulling you down, draining your energy, keeping you from your best. I have a podcast where I talk about choosing the right people, having great relationships, so you can become all you were created to be. It's inspiring and encouraging. I think you'll enjoy it. Listen to the Joel Osteen podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Injured? Hire America's largest injury firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
This on-duty police officer did. And we'll get into that, plus your dispatches in just a moment. But has anybody seen this house that Kid Rock is building? Has anybody seen
No.
Kid Rock? Oh, God almighty.
I unsubscribed a long time ago.
I saw this yesterday. Let me see if I can pull this up. You can watch the show, by the way, on YouTube and twitch.tv/The News Junkie. But I saw that Kid Rock was building this big house outside of Nashville, Tennessee, and he built his house to look just like the White House.
Okay. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Except I think it might be bigger than the White House. It's massive.
If I were going to
I
build my
love
own...
that. So now we're getting a line of it. Doesn't Tyler Perry have a makeshift in Atlanta, right?
Tyler Perry on his studio lot has like a complete, like almost perfect recreation of the White House. And now Kid Rock has this thing.
So we just need one in Florida. And then moving forward, I don't remember the rest of the map.
Well, yeah, you're going to need to fill out a lot of places here, but I
At
don't
least
know
along the East Coast line.
This is not cheap to do. They say, according to somebody who's visited the place, it's a complete party house.
Yeah, baby.
With only one guest bedroom and one guest bathroom, saving the rest of the space for the rave.
You made a larger-than-life White House, and you only put in one guest bathroom?
Yeah, why would you
for
do
your
that?
raves?
That can't be true. Well, it's just
Okay,
all
so it's
open.
a venue.
Yeah, it seems like it would just be all open space except for whatever bedrooms they had. Was it 2 bedrooms in this house?
Okay, this makes no sense.
You gotta.
Is it a venue? And then what about for the raves? Where do people pee-pee and poo-poo?
I have no idea. No, it's supposed to be his house. This is where he's living. They're just talking about, so it's a party house, so he's throwing raves there or something. It's modeled on the most famous house in the USA, the White House. And it's pretty damn wild. It's something else to behold. But there you go, Kid Rock. Clearly got some decent Kid Rock monies out there to afford to build that whole thing.
I hope the guy with the colostomy bag comes there for their opening night.
Swings it around. He's also got a hunting lodge, his own gas station, a church, and a barber shop. All
cool.
on property. So that sounds pretty fun.
The hunting lodge is not very surprising.
No, that makes sense. What with all the guns and all that good stuff that he had.
No Bud Light, though.
And he wanted the world to see that he shot up all the Bud Light and paid for a bunch of it, I'm sure. So let me see here. I got to bring this up because I think there's some more details in this report. But there is a police officer who's from Orlando who is now in some trouble.
Oh, I saw this morning.
And you want to talk about, like, this is what I'm talking about when I talk about bad cops. I'm talking about cops who absolutely think they're above the law. They don't care. They're cops. They're not you little peasants. You follow the rules. You follow the laws. They don't have to do that stuff. And when you see a cop who acts that way, that's the kind of cop that you need to extricate from the police force. You need to get that person out of that job because that is a poisonous combination. These are people who are absolute hotheads, and they believe that they have a different set of rules they have to follow. And this guy was going so fast down a street. He was going so fast, going 80 miles an hour in a 45, and he had no lights or sirens activated. So guess who pulls him over? Another police officer pulls him over, fellow cop, and he gets so pissed off. I think they have some of this in this footage here. Let me see. This is the dash cam footage. It just showed him drive by at a high rate of speed, and now the cop is going to go after him. Let me scoot forward a little bit. So, he was going 80 miles an hour in a 45. Really big kudos, absolute kudos to the cop who saw a fellow police officer speeding and still pulled him over.
Were they in a cop car?
Here he is up here. Yeah, they were both in cop cars.
Oh.
And so he's got his lights on, by the way, lights and siren on. And the other cop is not pulling over. He has to, like, pin the cop almost to tell him, hey, this is a police chase now. He's turned on his own lights. I love this move.
Weird, man.
I'm going to turn on my own police lights now. I'll pull you over. You can't pull me over. So I love this cop who had the balls to pull over a fellow police officer. Big ups to you, friend. That is very, very cool.
And best of luck with the rest of your career.
Yeah, hopefully this guy gets an award and the other guy, they get rid of his ass.
You're about to get David systemed.
So look,
110.
he's still running. This is a police chase now at this point, a double police chase. And he has to, like, pin him. Look, he has to drive in front of him to show him, hey, I'm serious. I'm pulling you over.
You want to pull over?
Please say a command.
Pull over.
He said, what are you doing, the other cop? You just hear in his voice, he's like, you can't pull me over. I'm a police officer.
In a cop car.
I do whatever I want. I'm a cop. I do whatever I want.
Question is, had this cop that he's pulling over had his lights on, then nothing would be an issue, right?
He probably wouldn't have known that he shouldn't have been speeding because he would have, I would assume he would have thought that he was in the middle of a call, but he wasn't. He was just speeding because he can speed because he's a cop and he lives by a different set of rules.
Work, Sean.
That's exactly what it was. That's what he says. Let me see if it shows him going over there in this
Say a
footage.
device name like phone or USB.
Oh, got a guest appearance.
Say a command.
He said, why are you trying to pull me over? He said, I'm going into work right now.
Okay, turn off.
She won't shut up inside the car as this is going on. But he's screaming. He's like, why are you pulling me over? I'm going to work. Like, I'm late for work. Look how I'm dressed. What do you think I'm doing right now?
Or radio. Phone is always active, so you can say
And then
things
the
like,
next part is
John Smith.
unbelievable. Let me fast forward. All right, there he goes.
945.
Oh, he took off.
Yeah, he gets back in his police car, and he speeds away and just says, I'm not going to sit here. You can't do a traffic stop on me. And so the officer then told his superiors what was going on, and they looked in to this whole thing, and I guess they put him on leave.
Oh, good. He still gets paid.
I'm trying to see what the exact language is that they said.
Now, were they from the same police department, or was this Orange County pulling over Orlando City?
Seminole County pulling over OPD. Right. So it was Seminole County pulling over Orange County Police Department. It says, a deputy said he saw a marked
OPD is Orlando Police Department.
What did I say?
You said Orange County.
Oh, I'm sorry. OPD, Orlando Police Department. I was staring at it as I said it. I'm just thinking of something different. A deputy said he saw a marked Orlando Police Department SUV driving at least 80 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone with no lights or sirens activated. The deputy had to speed up to catch the SUV. The deputy said they put on their lights and sirens, but the OPD vehicle did not pull over. The deputy had to pull their vehicle in front of the SUV to make it clear that they needed to stop. Body camera video shows the deputy get out of their vehicle and meet with the other officer who refused to get out of his vehicle, or I guess eventually did get out. When the deputy asked what type of call you were on, he said, I'm going to work. What type of call are you on? Look how I'm dressed. What do you think, he said. The deputy said Sharoni refused to present his driver's license and got back in his SUV and drove off. So he wouldn't give the cop his driver's license. He got in his SUV and he drove off. He's relieved of duty pending a sheriff's office and OPD internal investigation. No. You know what this guy just did? He evaded police. I don't care if he is a member of the police. He evaded police in a car chase. And then when he finally was forced to pull over, then he evaded police a second time. He has committed a crime. You have to charge the officer with the crime. They are subject to the same rules and laws that we are. We have too many cops who act like this, and we need to make sure we weed them out. Now, mind you, as I say this, I'm saluting the other cop, the Seminole County cop, who pulled over another boy in blue, or whatever you want to say, and was brave enough to do this. That's awesome. I love to see that. So it's sort of both sides of the coin here. But this cop broke the law, both in speeding and multiple times in trying to avoid being pulled over by an officer who had his sirens on and his lights on and all of that stuff. This is the kind of stuff you want to weed out. But they don't. So often they go, well, pending investigation, pending an internal investigation. They've been relieved of duty. They said he is facing some charges of reckless driving, fleeing and eluding law enforcement. And
That's what you said.
And resisting an officer without violence. So why are you even... Why do an investigation? You've got 4 charges against this guy.
Because that's the protocol.
It's stupid. They should fire cops that break the law. When the cops break the law, they should be fired, and you shouldn't even have to bother.
Would you say the same for our industry?
No. What do we
Not
have?
law, but breaking the rules.
The FCC? They already tried to do that. It's very different being a broadcaster who's going to violate an FCC rule and being a cop who's going to act like this. I mean, that's bad.
Very bad, and I don't disagree with you.
That's
just
bad.
curious.
No, do I think we should be in trouble for breaking FCC rules? We haven't broken any FCC rules around here. Squeaky
Never.
clean.
I'm about to say the T word.
No. Quick to break. We'll be back in a moment with jury duty plus an update on that 6-year-old who shot his teacher. We finally found out how he got that gun, and it's pretty crazy. Plus, it's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Someday, Alexa will do everything. Alexa, can you take the dog for a walk?
Ha ha ha. No way in hell.
But until then, tell her to play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio.
Playing Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio.
This is 11-year NBA veteran Katina Mobley. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by LASIK Plus.
Congrats to the Nuggets as Nikola Jokic powered Denver to their first title. Like Giannis, the Joker is changing the league. Big men who handle the ball and do everything. Jokic is coachable, selfless. His team-first playing style and attitude makes the flashy players look silly and irrelevant. There was one Kareem and one Magic, and there is only one Jokic. I'm Colin Cowherd.
Do it. Take the first step towards LASIK and score a great deal at LASIK Plus today. Right now, LASIK Plus is offering $1,000 off their Wave Light laser when treated in June. That's $500 off per eye with guaranteed financing. Visit mylasicoffer.com for details.
Well, you all know it is hot outside. It's only going to get worse as summer rolls on. And you need to at least have the peace of mind of knowing you could be inside your house in your comfortable, air-conditioned house. And you need to have the peace of mind that if it's not working right now and you're sweating inside your house, you have somebody honest who you can go to get you up and running again. That honest company is Mills Air. They're locally owned and operated. They're family owned and operated. They have been doing this since 1992, over 30 years of experience in helping people just like you out. Their techs are the best of the best. These are top shelf people who are both very kind and polite and also very, very, very skilled at helping you fix your air conditioning. You don't even have to help. They'll do it all for you. They're a Carrier Factory authorized dealer, which means they can get you up to $1,275 in rebates toward a brand new Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you can always turn to family-owned and operated Mills Air. Give them a call at 407-277-1159 or find them online at millsair.com.
Rise and shine, honey. We don't want to miss our flight.
Our flight is in 7 hours. And we have TSA PreCheck with our Navy Federal flagship credit card.
TSA PreCheck. Getting my Bugle through security will be so much easier now.
Learn how you can earn up to 3 times points on travel with the flagship credit card at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
Home title theft. It's on the rise, and it's devastating if it happens to you. Listen to the alarming words of an actual home title thief.
I don't need to know your date of birth and social security number. All I have to do is go to public records, create a document, and file that document. And then I can borrow against the house or sell the house. You may have no clue until you find out that your house has been sold or till several loans or several banks are foreclosing on you.
For pennies a day, Home Title Lock puts a virtual barrier of protection around your home's title with 24/7 monitoring. The instant they detect any tampering, you'll get an alert. And that's bad news for home title thieves. So when's the last time you checked on the title to your home? Find out if you're already a victim with your free title scan and complete title report. $100 value free with sign up. Just go to HomeTitleLock.com and sign up in minutes. That's HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com.
Look, some choices in life are complicated. Others, thankfully, are much simpler. Like choosing Truist One Checking. There are no overdraft fees, lots of practical perks, and when your life evolves and account balances grow, we'll upgrade your perks automatically. Truist One Checking. One simple choice. Truist Bank. Member FDIC.
Did you suffer through 2022 with a terrible bathroom? You wanted to make that call to Rebath in Mid-Florida. You just couldn't do it. Well, make 2023 the year that you finally do pick up that phone and let these guys show you what they can do. And what they can do is amazing. Take a bathroom that you hate, it's old, it's out of date, doesn't look great, doesn't really complement your home, and turn that into a magical spa-like environment that you begin or end every day in, and it makes you super happy. Here's the great thing. They do this with their employees. They do it in just 4 to 6 days, and they give you a lifetime guarantee on the products and the install. And guys, these products are simply amazing. Natural stone, travertine marble, all those beautiful colors. But it's the quality of the products that you've got to feel when you go to the showroom. 436 up in Altamont, right across from Kobe. Stomp in, feel that quality, picture that in your house. That can happen. They're exceptionally good at it. Let them design a bathroom that you are going to love using their products, your ideas, their ideas. And next thing you know, their craftsmen will have it installed and you will love it. 2023 is the year that you get a new bathroom courtesy of Rebath, midfla.com.
This summer, Dunkin' is shaking things up with even more iced drinks to love, like the new Raspberry Watermelon Dunkin' Refresher. Try it and all the Dunkin' Refreshers this summer. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer. Terms apply.
We hear you, Orlando, loud and clear. You are growing, people are thriving, and business is booming. Ocean Bank has been helping businesses grow for over 40 years. And now, we are here to bring you even more possibilities with our new branch right in the heart of the city. The power of Ocean has come to Orlando. Visit us at our new branch in downtown or go online to oceanbank.com to learn more. Ocean Bank, member FDIC.
Grab your shades, your flip-flops, and your free iHeartRadio app for summer 2023. No matter where you go this summer, your favorite radio station, the music you love, and the best podcasts in the world will be along for the adventure. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Hey shoppers, this is your local farmer letting you know that Florida watermelon is in season right now. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo while you shop. We're going to need a lot more help at checkout.
From the Florida Department of Agriculture.
This earful of Real Radio is sponsored by Skylight Roofing. Roof with us. SkylightRoofing.com.
So until they ban it, you can still find us here at Real Radio 1041 on TikTok. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
moment with an update on that 6-year-old who shot his teacher. And it's kind of interesting what they've announced in this. I didn't expect it, so we'll get to that in a moment. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. Hearing a lot of people go down this same line of thought when we were talking about the 28-year-old who wanted to get her tubes tied, and doctors were telling her, what if you regret this? We're not going to do this, which is stupid. Let people make decisions, even if you think they're going to be bad ones. That's not your decision to make, is what I say. If anybody's over 18, I'm fine with them doing whatever the hell they want. Make your mistakes. But John says, a minor can get irreversible gender surgeries. Why will a doctor not allow an adult woman to get her tubes tied, but will allow a minor to have irreversible gender-altering surgery? Those two doctors are probably not the same doctors, just for the record. That's not the thing.
I feel like it's not as black and white as that.
I see what the point is.
Consent to it. There's multiple loopholes, and
yeah, I see what his point is, and I stand by my previous point where everything over 18 is fine by me. That you're an adult and you can do what you want. I don't like that they would be doing this. I looked during the break. I think there's not really good data on what kind of surgeries are actually done to minors. I don't know why they don't keep that data. It seems like it would be pretty important to have that. But the best
now would be a good time to pull it out.
Right.
If you're sitting on that kind of data.
Yeah,
now would be a good time.
I don't know why they wouldn't have it. The best I could find was from Reuters, and it said in the 3 years ending in 2021, at least 776 mastectomies were performed in the United States on patients 13 to 17 years old. So that's spread out over 3 years. You can do the math there and how many a year are happening according to those numbers. But every story that I see about this suggests that it's very difficult to actually determine how many people are going through this. I'm not all for that. I'm for adults making adult decisions. And
is that mastectomies based on transgender?
Yeah, it's young trans girls.
There's nothing to do with like having the gene of breast cancer, having an issue with, you don't think so? Or like what
the Reuters story was specifically about teenage girls between 13 and 17 or something like that, who were seeking gender affirming care and had mastectomies, meaning had their breasts removed as a result of that. And I don't know if those two are really in conflict with each other, but I see what you're saying.
This is going to sound weird, but is there a lot to remove at 13?
I guess it depends on the kid.
I mean, it would be the parts that make it grow moving forward.
Well, that would be...
There is a lot more growth after 17.
No, but that would be hormones, when they would put somebody on hormones, which is more common than any of this other stuff. Puberty blockers and hormones are the things that are more common for kids under 18 that end up in this pipeline. But... yeah, I mean, I think that you got to focus on people 18 and over, and that's a whole separate argument when you're talking about the transgender kids thing. But everybody just wants to talk about that all the time now. I think we've kind of tread all that ground. I think like all of these discussions have been had. Nothing new is coming out of any of this. So, yeah.
No, man, they're not letting her tie her tubes.
I just found it
they're
interesting.
cutting off wieners.
I just found it interesting that there's doctors who will go, I think that you're too stupid to make the right decision for your life. Right? Like the doctor is like, I'm going to save you from your stupidity right now by saying you can't get your tubes tied. You're too young. That's a problem.
There is just a whole bunch of doctors out there. Mm-hmm. So there's got to be someone.
There's got to be, and because you're right to point this out, because there are so many doctors out there, it's like cops. There's got to be some really dumb doctors and some really smart doctors.
Didn't we have a couple during COVID?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of weirdos that came out of the woodwork.
But like, there's a really good bit on John Mulaney's latest special, Baby J.
Still haven't seen that.
We watched it, but we had already seen most of the material because we saw him live,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like mostly stuff about his star-studded intervention and being in rehab and stuff. But he also talks about like.
By the way, if you ever need to intervene me, I'd rather all the celebrities.
Yeah, it makes for much better content afterwards.
I think it'd be fun. Yeah.
I mean, if it was
multiple angles, do it in the studio.
Just some nobodies, it wouldn't have been as
with
cool.
The lights.
But half of them were on Zoom because of pandemic reasons. But he talked about how easy it is to get prescription drugs, and he's like, basically, kids, and don't try this at home, but he would just look up the care providers in the area and find the ones with the worst ratings. That they need your business because
they're a lot in Florida.
They're barely making it as a doctor to begin with, so they want you. They need you as much as you need them.
It's an interesting way to consider it.
You just sort by rating and go to the worst.
What's weird is when we're little, we take some of these jobs and we almost make them holy in our mind.
Yeah.
We take the job of a doctor and we're like, every doctor is smart and is a good doctor and
is a good person.
Is a good person and they know more than you. You got to listen to them. And you do that with lawyers a little bit too, I think sometimes.
Lawyers, and not saying cops, firefighters, and parents, I think, as well. You would go into thinking mom and dad know all that is right. And then you realize as you become adults that they're actual humans that make mistakes.
And they're going to be wrong on stuff too. But when you're in that perfect age, you just hold these people in such reverence.
Not radio hosts, huh?
No, we're not on the list, I don't think. And that's probably for the better. That makes more sense than not. Let's get into this very quickly. The fastest one ever. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass. You're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only, the amazing Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. He's a man you need to be following on social media, so just search for DeWitt Law Firm or just call Mo on social media and follow. He's always giving away all kinds of great merch and the hot sauce that's highly sought after and so many more things. But what he's really known for is being a great attorney and somebody that can help you out after a car accident. Not somebody who's going to put you in a spreadsheet and let some algorithm figure out what you should settle the case for. No, this is about human beings, and he wants to hear your story and fight for you on your behalf against the insurance companies after an accident. So remember the number, 866-CALL-MO, 866-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. The mother of that 6-year-old who shot his teacher earlier this year is actually entering a guilty plea to the federal firearms charges against her.
Got a deal?
Nothing very surprising here. Okay, Deja Taylor is the 25-year-old who they searched two residences where she was living. They found drugs and drug paraphernalia as well as a firearm barrel lock. They did not find a lockbox.
I wish they would be a lot more specific with drugs and drug paraphernalia.
I don't know if it says what drugs it was.
You got a pipe for weed or are you smoking crack?
I'm trying to see if it says it in the story here. It says Taylor's defense attorneys have previously stated the gun used by her son was secured with a trigger lock. It was not actually. The gun was placed on a high shelf, and that's where the 6-year-old got it from. And they said, no, it just doesn't say what the drug charges were for.
Sweet high shelf song.
High shelf. That's where the gun is placed.
The little kid got it and shot his teacher. Obviously, almost every one of these times when you have a child that's that problematic, you trace it back to the home and you see they're not getting the attention that they deserve. And they're getting a raw deal in their house. Not to say they're completely, beyond reproach when it comes to their behavior, but sometimes you'll see the parents are a big part of this stuff happening. When we come back, we still have so much to get into, including a Kmart worker who's in the news and a chef who they thought was dead, but he's turned up alive.
Hallelujah.
After a report of his death. What's going on with him? We'll find out. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Displaying a level of apathy that can only be achieved through years of studying. Okay, I guess you don't want to be petted. Cats. Real Radio 104.1.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
What's happening, family? Hopefully your Tuesday's going well, and right now on the major highways and roads of Orlando, we're seeing a pretty clear traffic flow, but of course, your usual delay on I-4, that's east and westbound approaching State Road 535. Beside that, east and westbound of the 408 is clear, north and southbound of the Turnpike is clear, as well as the Greenway, and the rest of the major highways and roads are incident-free. Our Safe Touch Security traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Brian Black.
This report is sponsored by Fontainebleau's Summer Paradise Getaway.
Fontainebleau Miami Beach is your summer paradise getaway. Save up to 25%, plus receive up to a $100 resort credit when you stay 4 nights or more, June through September. The possibilities are endless. Book now at fountainbleu.com.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Home title theft. It's on the rise, and it's devastating if it happens to you. Listen to the alarming words of an actual home title thief.
I don't need to know your date of birth and social security number. All I have to do is go to public records, create a document, and file that document. And then I can borrow against the house or sell the house. You may have no clue until you find out that your house has been sold or till several loans or several banks are foreclosing on you.
For pennies a day, Home Title Lock puts a virtual barrier of protection around your home's title with 24/7 monitoring. The instant they detect any tampering, you'll get an alert. And that's bad news for home title thieves. So when's the last time you checked on the title to your home? Find out if you're already a victim with your free title scan and complete title report. $100 value free with sign up. Just go to HomeTitleLock.com and sign up in minutes. That's HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com.
Hey shoppers, this is your local farmer letting you know that Florida watermelon is in season and available in the produce section right now. Whoa, hey, careful now. There's plenty of juicy watermelon and other tasty Florida-grown produce for everyone. I mean, all you have to do is ask for Fresh from Florida or look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo while you shop. We're going to need a lot more help at checkout.
With the Autio app riding shotgun, every road trip is an adventure.
Autio is my traveling companion. It's educational, entertaining, funny. It makes the drive come to life.
The Autio app automatically plays you stories about the natural wonders, local legends, and fascinating histories outside your car window, with over 10,000 unique stories from coast to coast.
I've learned more about my hometown from the Autio app than I did growing up here.
Autio, the perfect companion for your next road trip. Learn more at AUTIO.com.
Have you noticed that solar panels are popping up everywhere? You never know who's going to have solar next, and here's a thought, it could be you. Utility rates keep going up, and now is a great time to save big with Solar Source. Solar Source has been getting the job done in Central Florida for almost 40 years, and right now, Monster fans get special access to their new AI-powered tool that can get you an estimate in 1 minute or less. Visit solarsource.com/monsters for an instant quote.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. And we're Anajar and Levine. Experience the Anajar and Levine difference by calling us with any of your legal needs. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
In Office Orlando.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
The new Smokin' Triple Stack at Firehouse Subs is stacked high with honey ham, smoked turkey, and slow-smoked beef brisket. To top it off, a portion of every purchase helps provide life-saving equipment to first responders. The Smokin' Triple Stack Sub. Get it for a limited time, only at Firehouse Subs. Participating U.S. locations, Firehouse of America, LLC, and Firehouse Subs suppliers together will donate 0.09% of purchases in 2023 at Firehouse Subs locations to the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation for the purchase of life-saving equipment with a minimum donation of $1 million.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTR-CM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facility safe and your people safer. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Find out at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Was dead, but he's turned up alive, and I guess on television. We'll hear from him in just a moment here. I saw this. We've talked about several situations like this, so I want to bring this up. I'm very scared about playing this because I worry that there'll be some curse words. But, you know, people put those little signs outside their house. I always thought I'd be mortified if my parents did something like this. But it says, like, in this case, it says, Shiloh High School. Congratulations. And it says your class, and then, you know, it's the whole thing about, like,
everywhere.
They're all through the neighborhood. There's so many of these that you see.
We got a Boone Senior here.
Yep, yeah. And I always thought, man, if I don't know if they did this much when I was in school, but, like, if they did, I would have been horrified by having something like that
Yeah.
up.
I
Like,
lived so
proud
far,
parents.
so far away from my high school that, like, none of them would come by.
Mhm.
I will say that, like, our senior year, these senior football players, they got TP'd.
Yeah.
You know, and I was part of that, but so long as they were in the 5-mile radius of the school.
I just wouldn't want, like, I wouldn't even want the honor roll stuff.
Have you even seen, like, the giant lettering? And it was very big during the pandemic.
Uh-huh.
It was like, you know, graduate, happy birthday to,
Right.
and it's like the giant letters that cover up the entire front yard. And for what?
Yeah, it's a little
What do you do
much.
with those letters afterwards?
Also, isn't this, like, expected? I don't know that you should have this much of a celebration over graduating high school. You're supposed to graduate high
Now,
school.
I had a party.
Yeah,
I got
that's
a bunch
fine.
of money.
It is. It's good. It's good that you graduate high school, right?
That they used on drugs.
That's good for everything. My dad gave me like a 12-pack of beer or whatever. I remember the day very, very vividly. Wasn't even 21, but appreciated it.
I mean, it would have been hilarious if that was the reason. If your dad gave you a 12-pack of beer because you finally graduated at 21.
He put it in my trunk and he was like, "Have a good time," and that's what I got. But now it seems like it's such a big deal. Like, there's a huge deal that parents make out of their kids graduating.
That and prom has become like a massive deal. I'm seeing a lot of stuff when it comes to like promposals.
Oh yeah.
The like walkout of your house to go to prom.
People
has
were
become
doing-
a party in the front yard.
I don't know if this is for Instagram or
It's
what.
like gender reveals.
But people were doing a lot of photo shoots and stuff for prom in the park in my neighborhood. And they would like have a whole thing set up and like a professional photographer.
Oh,
and-
really? See, we didn't have that. We
Yeah.
had like at someone's house, we got ready, and then the parents would line up, and they would take the pictures that they could on the disposables or
I
the
just
digital
don't
cameras.
remember it being this big of a thing, right? I don't remember it being that big of a thing.
Kids these days.
And this guy, he took a video. God, I want to play it because I want to hear what he says. But
Can we try?
he pulled up to the sign. And
Give it a whirl. Why not?
The person's name is on the sign, but he's like trying to figure out how to pronounce the name of this particular student. Oh boy!
This is the DJ that they. Oh.
Rolling the dice. Here we go.
The three very on. The three very on.
The variant.
The third. The third.
They're all trying to pronounce it. The kid's name on
That's
the
not
sign
their
is
real name.
DA'3 capital VARION.
You can't have a 3 in your name, can you?
Well, this person does, I guess. And they're stopped at the sign, and they're all together trying to figure out how to pronounce this person's name. It's like we have brought this up many times before. Rachel says this is deja vu because we've talked about this thing before on the show. We talked about Absidy. Was that the one? Which is ABCDE. And we've talked about all these variations of these names.
Ladasha?
You put a 3 in a kid's name, he's screwed. Every time they try to read off his name somewhere, people are going to go,
But I'll take a dash. I've never seen an actual number in someone's legal name.
No.
I also feel like maybe this was a mistake on the printing company, but too late in the timeline to get the reprint, so just put it on there.
Detreverian. I think
maybe there's 3 of the variants.
I think they think it's like trace, like Detreverion or something. I think they land on that.
The variant. The third variant.
They're trying.
The Travion. The Travion.
The
Trayvon.
The Travion.
They're all lined up there at the end trying to figure out what the hell this guy's damn name is.
There's only so much room on those.
Yeah, I don't know if that's
Appreciate
it's going to be useful throughout his life, but good luck with that.
It's worth a lot
whole
of money
thing.
now, though.
Now it's in this, and this has got 117,000 views so far. So Detravion's out there.
Is anything that replies like setting him straight?
No, and nobody seems to know what it is until the kid weighs in on it himself. I talked about this right before the break, so let's pay this off. A New Orleans chef was reported missing, and then they said he was dead. They said this guy is dead. And Demetrius Scott is his name. 47 years old. He was reported missing on June 10th. Police say the person who made the report had not had any contact in person or via cell phone with Scott in 2 weeks. Family members said that the coroner's office had given them a preliminary notification that a dead body found dumped in the 9th Ward was believed to be Scott. So they went to his house. The family gathered together, and they were talking about how they had great memories with him, that this guy was now dead. And then he shows up, and he's like, guys, I'm not dead.
Okay, I'm
Still
confused.
alive.
How did they find a body and they're like, that must be Scott?
They found a body, and I don't know what kind of condition the body was in, but it must have been such a condition.
We found one thumb. It must be Scott's.
Let's see what they say. Here's one of the New Orleans reports about this.
Good afternoon. I'm Lauren McCoy.
And I'm Meg Gatto. We are following breaking news at this hour. A missing chef whose family thought he was dead
Lauren?
has just walked up to his home.
And David Jones is live at Demetrius Scott's home in the 7th Ward, and we are waiting for him right now. But I would say it was definitely a tumultuous day.
Does Fox 8 have like a high lighting bill?
I
mean, look at that. It's just they forgot to turn the light above Lauren.
I don't know what's happened here, but
it's not fair.
These two are saying this has been a tumultuous day.
Saying that he was missing for about 2 weeks, and then now they believe that he is right there. We are waiting for David right now.
They're
stalling.
Yeah, this is a well-known chef, known by a lot of people in the 7th Ward and really across the city. We want to get to our David Jones now live.
Are you ready?
The missing chef who, again, has just now shown up to his
David
home.
Jones is missing now.
Yeah, David Jones was sitting there waiting for the guy who was supposed to be dead to show up. Stall!
Hey, good afternoon. Look, as we were pulling up here to do our 4 o'clock live shot, Chef Scott just walked up to us. Let's talk to him now. Chef, where you been?
The shirt.
I've been around.
The shirt.
I've been around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, just trying to, take some time for myself. You know what I mean?
This is
work
awkward.
hard and, and just essentially just needed a moment to just sit down and, come down and take a break from work and just everything. You know what I mean? Like, life caves in on you sometimes, and that's actually what happened, and I just needed to just sit down and just pull myself together.
So
a text would have helped.
Yeah,
before we got everyone involved.
He totally cut off all contact with everybody. He just wanted some time to himself, and that would have been maybe fine. But the idea that the coroner found a body and they're like, "We think we might have your son's body."
Now they don't know who the body is.
Yeah, now this guy's like, "Whoa!" He shows up at the scene. He's like, "Guys, I'm not dead."
And you know what? I'm not going to hate on him because sometimes people need a break, and it doesn't need to become a, all-out news story.
Well, it's going to be a news story when they think you're dead and you show up at the scene
Very
where
true.
everybody's saying their goodbyes to
But
you.
that's where those Facebook posts come in, where it's like, I'm going to take a bit of a break. So if you don't hear from me, this is my post.
I also
But
think
those people also come back like 2 days later.
this guy was probably like, I was too stressed. There was so much stress in my life. I had to cut off and relax. And then he gets back to his house and he's like on television explaining why he's not
think you're dead.
What's going on, man? Well, you all right? What's happening with you?
I have family, I have friends, I have community, and I just needed to just sit down in the corner and just think and just, feel like I need to use my head and figure out how to continue to maneuver through life.
I like the chyron, the lower third on this. It just says missing chef alive. He's alive. He's good to go. There is a dead body that they found, though, so kind of got to sort that one out and see where that body actually truly belongs. Let's go over to this, your dispatches, and they belong on the show. I know they do, and I want to see what you got going on. So let's go over to, here's a dispatch from the lovely Lolita.
Hey, News Junkies. I just want to tell you a funny little story. I never wanted kids.
Better be funny.
And when I was in my late 20s, I decided I was going to get a tubal. I worked in the medical field. An OB-GYN friend of mine said, when you turn 30, if you still feel the same, I'll do it. So the year of my 30th birthday, I made an appointment in June, got pregnant in May, and baby daddy said,
wow,
I want this. And I said, okay. Baby daddy was a good guy. Well, I should say is a good guy, because 25 years later, we're still married.
Oh, look at that.
2 years, fast forward, and another kid later, we're at the urologist's office to get his vasectomy. And I did have to sign a form giving permission for him to have that.
That's so
and
weird.
The urologist looks at me and says, how many kids do you have? And I said, 2. He says, all right, I'll let you do this. He made the incisions. I got to snip the vas deferens.
Out of here.
How satisfying that was.
Wow.
That was the best day ever.
That's strange.
I didn't know they let
but
you
I
do
kind
that.
of love that.
That's like a
They get to cut the
hands-on
umbilical
doctor.
cord, and then she gets to cut the cord of the peen.
There are many procedures that the doctors will let you participate in. I can't think of many where they're like, yeah, go for it. Here you go.
I hope Ashley's listening.
Oh, man. That's interesting.
Just
Okay.
so she knows she has the option. Celine, are you okay?
I'm trying. I'm racking my brain to try and think of what other things
a doctor
would let you do.
Yeah, like, come on over here. We can let you participate in this. Like
It
it's
really
a game of
depends.
operation.
So, like, I can't say I've had any of those reproductive things done, but I got to film when I had something removed from a dermatologist.
Mhm.
One of my dentists allowed me to keep a tooth.
Oh, okay.
And then I very well plan on when I have to get the rest of the wisdom teeth taken out that I get to have them.
Oh, you know what they would probably let you do? If you ever have like something on your skin, like a wart or anything, and they bring out the freeze stuff, they would probably let you do that.
I don't want to do that. I'd pass
Ooh.
out.
I've had it done a couple of times.
No, but you would want it yourself?
Yeah, that'd be fun. Like if C-Lane had something and I could freeze it off
And then
of
you'd
him.
probably throw it right in your mouth, wouldn't you?
No, I wouldn't eat that. That's
I would
good.
pop pimples if given the opportunity.
Really?
Yeah.
You do it on somebody else or yourself?
I would do it at both.
That's nice.
I mean, myself.
No, you know what? I know. I appreciate a partner, and not saying we're partners, but anyone who's willing to do it to somebody. I personally cannot pop other people's pimples.
No,
it's not for
no.
me. But as a single woman now, it is like that's a game changer.
Yeah, it shows a
That you
level
don't
of
have anyone
closeness.
there for you. So, C-Lane, I have some fun stuff ahead for you.
Yeah, you got to pop some pimples for it.
You have
Yeah.
pimples that you need popping?
No, but in the future, I might have one that I can't reach. So,
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much.
Here we go. Let's go over to.
You don't want to talk about this anymore?
Zoe with the dispatch. Hello?
First time dispatch.
Thank
Been
you.
listening for about 3 years.
Thank you.
I have 3 children.
Thank you.
After my first one, I wanted my tubes tied, and they told me no because she was female. I looked them in the eye and told them if this baby dies before I leave the hospital, I don't want any more children.
So what she's saying is they weren't going to let her get her tubes tied because the child that she did have wasn't a male, so therefore
Carry on her family line?
Right.
I think there's a lot
That's
of religion in
nuts.
these.
Yeah.
There's a lot of religion in these decisions.
You could
I
still
think,
carry on a family line with a female.
Well, she's saying like the name,
last name?
Well, because the female is probably going to take the last name of a male if they end up in that situation, and so the family name would extinguish. And you're right. They're like all of these things are based on, like it's a weird moral structure because it doesn't matter health-wise if your family name stops anywhere. That doesn't mean anything.
No.
That doesn't have any weight to
Well,
it.
then, ethically speaking, is that even part of it? Like their oath that
no,
they're allowed
no,
to do that?
not at all. Because this doesn't have anything to do with the health of the patient or anything.
But what I'm saying is, it's a very old school religion-based mentality that I think is fueling a lot of these decisions. Somebody is going, "Oh, you're 28 and you want to have your tubes tied? No, you're supposed to get married and have kids and do the You know, like a nice Catholic girl. You know,
Yeah,
just have a litter of children.
It's a very traditionalist view on what should be done.
Your kid is a female, so we're not going to. We want you to make a male too. So get at it.
Oh,
Isn't China do something similar?
They've loosened up their one-child rule or whatever that they used to have there, but they still watch that kind of stuff very, very closely. Back to Zoe.
Number 2 comes, she's born at a Catholic hospital. They will not tie the tubes.
Damn.
So now I have 3. Oh, and
I hope your kid's not listening right now.
Wait, what'd you say?
Okay, go back.
They will not tie the tubes. So now I have 3. Oh, and inositol is what is used to cut cocaine.
Oh,
all right.
Thank you.
Inositol?
That's it. That's what she had.
Do me a favor. Give your third the option to send us a dispatch.
Because she mentioned the other 2. She's like, I have a daughter, another daughter.
Didn't want it. Now I've got 3.
Now I got 3. If that first doctor would have just said, yes, we'll tie your tubes, there would only be 1 child. There will only be 1 here. But the gatekeeping.
I'm sure they're all lovely.
I don't want people gatekeeping any kind of procedures for adults. This is stupid. Here's Victor talking about Pat Sajak. Hello?
Replace Pat Sajak with the woman who did The Weakest Link.
Oh, Jane Lynch.
No. Oh, she's talking about that one? Yeah,
Oh,
she
the
does.
original?
She does the one now, The Weakest Link. Is that show still on?
It's, yes.
Daytime television kind of thing, I guess, right? And
It's during our show.
before was just the lady that I just remember her voice. I don't know what the hell her name was. You know, you are the weakest.
You
link.
are the weakest link.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yeah, I remember her voice and like the way she talked, and she was mean, so they gave her a whole bunch of attention at that time. But yeah, I mean,
Ann Robinson.
Yeah, I don't know if either one of those are gonna fit. I could see them just because this is what they do with everything now. If it's a white dude in the job, they traditionally want to switch it to something else, right? And this is just how a lot of these entertainment roles do now. And so I could see them going for somebody who's totally different, a female host or somebody else. But I just can't think of the person. Somebody said earlier, oh, man, Wayne Brady, somebody said earlier. And I go, he could probably do it. Wayne Brady's got the personality and, like, he's good on TV and he's good at, like, the banter and stuff. I think he might be able to pull that off. Who knows who they're going to pick here, but that's about the end of the line for old Pat Sajak. All right, back in just a moment with this Kmart worker who finds themselves in the news, and we should take a trip to Slowjamistan.
Okay.
It's a beautiful place. Where
I
we
don't
headed?
see nothing wrong.
You might be surprised where we're headed. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
We're not running out of prizes yet. At Real Radio 1041 on Instagram, powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
What's happening, family? Hopefully your Tuesday is going well, and right now on the major highways and roads of Orlando, we're seeing a pretty clear traffic flow, but of course, your usual delay on I-4, that's east and westbound approaching State Road 535. Beside that, east and westbound of the 408 is clear, north and southbound of the Turnpike is clear, as well as the Greenway, and the rest of the major highways and roads are incident-free. Our Safe Touch Security traffic zipline number is 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Brian Black.
This report is sponsored by America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses. Look sharp, shop smart, and take care of your eyes. Visit America's Best for a professional comprehensive eye exam, plus 2 pairs of glasses starting at just $79.95. Shop online or book an exam at americasbest.com. That's americasbest.com.
Folks, I want to tell you about a great company, a company that is going to help you out. Because if you're in your house right now and you got the AC on, but it just isn't cooling down, you need Mills Air. Think about that on the days when you're sweating in your house. Mills Air is only one phone call away, and if you have a small problem, they'll fix it for you. If you have a bigger problem, they'll fix it for you. But they're not going to pretend that you need a whole replacement air conditioner just to take advantage of you. They're all about honesty. Leon Mills has the best crew in town and beyond, and they've been in business since 1992. That's 3 decades, 30 years plus of experience in keeping Central Florida cool. Needless to say, they know what they're doing. Their techs can service any brand out there. Whatever you have, they can get you up and running. And they're a Carrier factory authorized dealer, so they can get you some big rebates on a brand new Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you can always turn to family-owned and operated Mills Air. The phone number is 407-277-1159, or find them online at millsair.com.
This September, our iHeartRadio Music Festival is coming back to Las Vegas.
September 22nd and 23rd at T-Mobile Arena.
Streaming live only on Hulu. Tickets go on sale Friday, June 16th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. But starting tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, Capital One cardholders can score tickets and other awesome experiences before anyone else for 48 hours only or while pre-sale tickets last.
Visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One for more pre-sale details.
What's in your wallet?
With the Autio app riding shotgun, every road trip is an adventure.
Autio is my traveling companion. It's educational, entertaining, funny. It makes the drive come to life.
The Autio app automatically plays you stories about the natural wonders, local legends, and fascinating histories outside your car window, with over 10,000 unique stories from coast to coast.
I've learned more about my hometown from the Autio app than I did growing up here.
Autio, the perfect companion for your next road trip. Learn more at autio.com.
Fence Outlet customer Amy said,
"We had a fire on our property and needed to replace our fence quickly. We have grandchildren and pets, and we were concerned for their safety. A friend recommended Fence Outlet. We scheduled a free quote, and they had her privacy and safety restored quickly."
Visit fenceoutlet.com today. License number C10252 and C10803.
The number one cause of accidents is distracted driving, like cell phones, eating, and playing with the radio. So leave it right here on Real Radio. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.com. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
Hey shoppers, this is your local farmer letting you know that Florida watermelon is in season right now. Look for the Sunny Fresh from Florida logo while you shop. We're going to need a lot more help at checkout.
Hey Monster fans, Russ here. You know what is really scary? Utility rates. So let's talk about solar. You may have seen solar popping up all over the place. Well, there's a good reason. One is utility rates are rising. Two, government incentives can dramatically lower the cost to solar. So if you want to go solar, call Solar Source. Monster fans get special access to their new solar estimate tool. Visit solarsource.com/monsters. That's solarsource.com/monsters.
The IRS has just received $80 billion in funding to hire additional agents for aggressive collections enforcement. If you owe the IRS, now is the time to take action before the IRS comes after you or your business. There is no time to waste. Call J. David Tax Law, a firm right here in Orlando, for a no-cost consultation at 407-603-3962. That's 407-603-3962. Or visit jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Want to improve your marksmanship while saving ammo and saving money? Get better faster with the Mantis X Dry Fire Training System.
It's time to shoot tighter groups.
The Mantis X Dry Fire Training System.
Score 97, bang on the money.
The Mantis X is a smart sensor that fits any weapon with a rail or adapter, pairing to your smartphone or tablet. Analyzes your shooting and tells you how to improve.
Mantis.
94% of shooters improve after just 20 minutes. Go to MantisX.com.
MantisX.com.
GiveMeTheVin.com is America's best car buyer for a reason. We don't sell your leads to anyone else like the rest of our competitors. You're our customer. We handle our customers right, and that's why we're America's best car buyer. You're not going to get harassed by a bunch of different people selling your information. GiveMeTheVin.com dominates. Why? Because we take care of our customers. They don't call me America's best car buyer for nothing.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Some choices in life are complicated. Others, thankfully, are much simpler, like choosing Truist One Checking. There are no overdraft fees, lots of practical perks, and when your life evolves and account balances grow, we'll upgrade your perks automatically. Truist One Checking. One simple choice. Truist Bank. Member FDIC.
If you've been injured in a car accident, call Pound Law from your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan.
Well, this is very interesting to me. And I'm going to be talking to a very specific person. People who have had a job know exactly what I'm talking about if it's been a job where this occurs. And it's a story in the Washington Post today. But go through this thought experiment with me, all right? You guys ever worked at a job where where they were like playing music in, like, a lot of times it's in a warehouse, right? Like if you work in one of those jobs, there'll be like a boom box or something and somebody's just playing music.
So not warehouse, but I specifically remember Cold Stone Creamery, my first job ever. It was a particular CD. Like it was
Did they ever give you new ones, or it was just like from the company and you only got one?
So it was from the company, and then the first one I worked at was it was their own system too. Like you could only play those CDs. And then we got a hold of like other genres and were able to switch out the CDs.
Right.
And then I remember I moved to another Cold Stone, and they were like, no, we just have this one, and that is it.
Well,
and it was the same Manic Monday. I know every single word because of that.
A lot of places do that. Like bowling alleys will have bowling alley radio.
Right.
Or like if you go to a hair salon, sometimes they'll have like a thing. And maybe this is why. Because I saw this story and I was kind of blown away. They said blasting risque music in the workplace, it's harassment, a judge rules. All right? And this is about a Nevada clothing warehouse. And here's some of the details, all right, from the Washington Post. It says, inside a Nevada clothing warehouse, a song describing a woman's murder blasted from commercial-strength speakers, as did other musical selections glorifying abuse and denigrating women, a lawsuit alleged. The rap music would often overpower the 700,000-square-foot S&S activewear facility in Reno, Nevada, and it helped foster an environment rife with discrimination and harassment, according to the lawsuit, which was filed in 2020 by 8 former employees. Initially, they dismissed this lawsuit, and they said it didn't constitute discrimination because of sex, because the music was heard by both men and women at the warehouse. But another judge says, no, we disagree with this. And they said, according to the lawsuit, the blaring music was, quote, inescapable, unquote, inside the Reno warehouse, where at least 5 speakers were often driven around on forklifts. The employees alleged that they were subjected to songs by Eminem and Too Short that they said glorified violence against women. For instance, describing a young girl dying
Not
after
that second part, I just want to say.
after a graphic instance of sexual violence. Love this part. Representatives for Eminem and Too Short didn't immediately respond to the Post request for comment.
No way. You don't.
Did they check their spam folder?
Why would they chime in on this? They said it wasn't just the music that was offensive, the suit alleged. It was also the behavior it inspired in the male employees, who allegedly shared pornographic videos, made sexual remarks, yelled obscenities, and pantomimed sexual intercourse while the songs
And they're
played.
blaming that on the music?
No, they're saying the employee misbehaving is one thing, but they're saying the music alone is tantamount to harassment. It says just playing these songs is itself a form of sizable harassment. It's an implicit invitation for people to act out because you're permitting misogyny and violence to be loudly broadcast.
Okay.
So basically, what this means is if this court case is won, if you're anywhere in a job and you got speakers going right now, and there's music that's like uncensored or not like Sabrina was talking about, where you have like a very filtered playlist, right? There's nothing on the Cold Stone Creamery thing that people would be like, ooh, I don't know about this. They've filtered all the bad stuff out. But if you're just playing rap songs and even uncensored, which I hear sometimes.
Sure.
You go by like a warehouse and people will be blaring this stuff. You could be responsible for harassment for any employees that hear that.
That is it's a very weird realm there to dive into, but I can understand where if you've got these, and they're not probably popular mainstream, and there's some very violent songs.
Well, Eminem and Too Short were the examples that they gave.
I don't know, like
there are some pretty violent Eminems.
Of
they
course,
are,
yeah.
but it's just so weird that that's in the workplace and that they have played it so much that it leads to a harassment.
I just think you're
filing.
gonna have every situation, if this court case gets attention, where anybody goes, you guys can play whatever you want on the music for the speakers, play whatever you want. They're gonna go, nope, can't do that because we can get sued for it, and we're seen as harassing our employees for letting this kind of music be played.
Now, take into account some very safe for ears if you're just there for 10 minutes kind of songs.
Mhm.
And after hearing Baby Shark for the 20th time at the warehouse,
Right.
I would consider myself harassed. And also, like, I'm going to jump off a bridge.
Well, yeah, that would be stuck in your head and nightmarish, but that wouldn't work under this because it has to be like sexual and it has to be what they deem as harassment.
So, but if you play WAP,
Mhm.
WAP,
Yep.
you know, that is that harassment considering the context of that.
That's what this judge says. This
But
judge
it's
says
not violent towards women. It's actually a little empowering.
they
if
would
you think
still
about
they
it.
would still file it under offensive. It says, according to the lawsuit, employees complain daily about the offensive music to no avail.
So who was DJing at the warehouse?
Instead, SNS Activewear Management allegedly told them the music was motivational, prompting several employees to quit over the prevalence of the foul rap music and various other forms of sexual harassment, they said.
There was music that included violence against women, and they called it motivational?
Yeah.
Motivating them to quit the job.
That's what at least the business said. I know what the business is saying. They're like, we like that our employees can create a culture out here where they're listening to music, they're having fun, it keeps them upbeat, keeps them working. Get it. Totally get it. But if this case wins, you cannot do that anymore. You cannot do that. And I had a job where I've talked about it many times where I worked for Carolina Mountain Water. And it was a great job at the time. And I had this warehouse where I would be loading up the truck to get ready to go do deliveries or unloading the truck at the end of the day. So I'd always have a radio out there and I put whatever I want on the radio. But it would be a radio station. So it was filtered out, you know, for the FCC rules and stuff like that. This sounds like it's either satellite radio or Spotify or, you know, one of these new things that's just giving uncensored content to all these people. That's a wild case right there. That'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. And you may see some big changes as far as music at work with this. And congratulations, Florida. Congrats, you did it. All right. 2 Florida nude beaches have been named among the best in the world.
Offensive.
Hallover Beach is one of them. Never been
there?
Have you been there?
Not nude, but
1.5 mile beach north of Miami Beach.
As a matter of fact, I've been there, but as a Girl Scout when we were helping transfer turtle babies to the ocean.
Yeah.
No nudists.
It's like a whole place. They said with tennis center, golf course, dog park.
It's very nice.
It's got a lot of
I
stuff.
didn't realize there
going
was
on.
nudists there. I thought it was just South Beach.
Yeah. Then the only other nude beach in the U.S. besides those two in Florida,
What was the other
Linda-
one?
Playa Linda.
Oh, Playa Linda,
Yeah, and then San Francisco's Baker Beach. Those are this is in the world. The best nude beaches in the world. 2 of them are from Florida.
good.
So,
Now, did the websites actually send people there to see the people that were nude?
I don't know.
Because it's not that.
the Miami
appealing.
one might be better. The Miami one would probably be better than
You
most.
would assume, and then you go on the wrong day, and it's like, I don't want to be here anymore.
What am I looking at around here?
But I mean, I think to her point, I'm curious what the criteria were for rating these among the best nude beaches in the world, and is one of them the clientele?
Yeah,
like the people who are
fact
nude
that
there.
Younger, more attractive people show up
But
at this beach.
Isn't the whole thing with going to a nude beach is that you're not supposed to go there to look at naked people? It's to allow you to be nude there.
You're not supposed
like, don't be
to.
a creep.
You're definitely not supposed to, and you're not supposed to, like, you know, do sex and stuff. It's supposed to.
Is that what you call?
You're not supposed
Yeah,
to.
dude, sex.
Why is this your sex?
Well,
move?
you're not supposed to
Do sex and stuff.
engage in sexual activities, I would say. but people still do it. You know, I've seen videos of this online.
okay.
So this kind of stuff happens, actually.
They're getting into a weird territory.
They have like a boner patrol.
Yeah.
Make sure.
A little badge.
They have that at the nudist resorts.
They have to have it. When we come back, I'll finally pay off this Kmart worker story. I promise. Plus the final dispatches, the stories that didn't make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Tuesday. It's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
We all sound like we just had sex.
Don't touch.
Does anybody do innuendo better than us? I mean, deep cut innuendo.
I mean, seriously. Don't touch.
Deep cut.
The Jim Colbert Show. Weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Allison Gargaro with a look at your Central Florida forecast. Afternoon highs today will be soaring to the mid-90s through the Orlando metro, with feels-like temperatures ranging anywhere from 100 up to 103 degrees. Make sure you're staying hydrated and take breaks inside the AC. This afternoon, we're monitoring a 20% chance for an isolated shower or thunderstorm. Always remember to depend on the Fox 35 Storm Team. I'm meteorologist Allison Gargaro.
This report is sponsored by ePass.
The Portable Uni by ePass. Now available in black. A toll pass that blends into your windshield. Finally. And Uni works on toll roads in 19 states. The Portable Uni by ePass. Get yours today on Amazon or go with uni.com.
My fellow Americans, R.C. Hill here from R.C. Hill Mitsubishi. I think it's high time we celebrate. To help you relieve stress and start having fun again. It's time to let freedom ride and break free from your old ride and declare your independence in a nicer, newer car for just $7 down. Have you been feeling put down, fed up, or just plain tired? Then it's time to let freedom ride. So keep your cash and drive a new 23 Outlander for just $7 down. All RC Hill Mitsubishis include a lifetime limited warranty. Even if you've heard no in the past, America is a land of opportunity. And I believe everyone deserves to drive a nicer, newer car today. So kick your old ride to the curb and let freedom ride for just $7 down. But hurry, this celebration ends soon. I'm RC Hill, your car dealer next door. Get free at rchill.com. That's rchill.com.
$7 down cars need approval. Negative equity may be refinanced. Example, stock number N12354. $7 down, $3.99 per month for 84 months, 3.9 APR.
Wells Fargo gives you access to direct deposit funds up to 2 days early.
Plus, if you look at the X and Y axes...
What if everything came 2 days early? Like the weekend.
Well, that was a pleasant surprise.
You can't get everything early, but when it comes to direct deposits, you can with Wells Fargo.
Visit wellsfargo.com/get-early to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. Not all direct deposits are eligible. Early availability is not guaranteed and may vary between deposits from the same payer. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
In St. Augustine, Ponte Vedra, it might feel like there's not enough time to take everything in. Because once you're done exploring 42 miles of pristine coast, marveling at historical architecture, and enjoying world-class food, it'll be time to check out and head home. But that's okay. You can always stay just one more day. Visit FloridasHistoricCoast.com to learn more. It's about time.
If it's a day that ends in Y, you're probably stuck in Florida traffic. So turn that AC up one more notch, aim the vents toward your face, and think of a better place, like the cool, colorful produce section in your favorite grocery store. Why? Because that's where all the cool, colorful, fresh from Florida produce is. Produce just tastes better when it's grown closer to home. And when you buy fresh from Florida, you're supporting local farmers and jobs in our communities. So after you're done being stopped in traffic, pick up some fresh from Florida on your way home.
Rise and shine, honey. We don't want to miss our flight.
Our flight is in 7 hours. And we have TSA PreCheck with our Navy Federal flagship credit card.
TSA PreCheck? Getting my bugle through security will be so much easier now.
Learn how you can earn up to 3 times points on travel with the flagship credit card at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
We're more than truck drivers. We're road pros.
Yep. Want to know the best way to get somewhere? Ask a truck driver. We know where the pavement is smooth and the stop signs are few and far between.
We also know where the best donuts are and where to find the fuel that helps keep our engines cleaner.
Using Synergy diesel-efficient fuel from Exxon and Mobil stations helps us get better mileage.
They provide quick ways to pay so you can get back on the road. They're dependable like that.
Pros like us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Learn more and find a station at Exxon.com compared to diesel without detergent additives. Results may vary.
Just call Mo. Just call Mo. Just call Mo. Just call Mo. Injured on the go. Just call Mo.
Mo DeWitt, Office, Orlando. Sung by a non-attorney spokesperson.
If you're a pro painter, do you know how much you're paying per gallon for paint? Paint stores try to convince you that you're getting a good deal with deep discounts. But what they don't tell you is their starting price is too high to begin with. If you buy paint from the Home Depot, you're getting the lowest price per gallon on Behr paint, guaranteed. We offer everyday low prices on every gallon of top-rated Behr paints, stains, and primers. Plus, pros earn discounts through our Pro Extra Paint Rewards program. That's the value of the Home Depot. How doers get more done. The U.S. only C-store for details.
Hello, Floridians. Today is a good day to do great things. Yes, like finally getting your closet organized. Or fixing your water heater so you can enjoy warm, steamy showers. Oh, yeah. Do something great today by calling Plumbing Today to take care of all your plumbing needs. Right now, get our 93 or free drain clearing and get the best from today.
Call today, Plumbing Today, plumbingtoday.biz.
Visit plumbingtoday.biz to book an appointment.
At Jersey Mike's, watching them freshly slice the meat and cheese for my sub is a sight to behold. The layers of ham, salami, and pepperoni are even more glorious than the pink and orange layers of a sunrise. Yeah, the sun's pretty and all that, but in about 7 billion years it's going to explode, obliterating the Earth and every living thing on it. And if there's no sun, there's no subs. Meanwhile, the only thing a sub ever obliterated was my hunger. Freshly sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing, a sub above.
We're hiring. Come be a part of the magic at Walt Disney World Resort. Discover full-time and part-time roles, including bus driver, culinary, lifeguard, and more. Apply today at waltdisneyworld.jobs. That's waltdisneyworld.jobs.
Final dispatches. Stories that didn't make the cut. And today we're going to wrap everything up for a Tuesday.
Good times.
Oh, C-Lane getting at that Mexican pizza over there, too.
It looks good. I saw it in the kitchen. I'm like, what the
They're
heck?
tasty.
They are, but they do not travel well.
No, they get flat.
I mean, that is not something that could be eaten like a pizza.
Do you think you could just ask them to do half cooked and then you can do the rest in Sean's oven?
They don't, you're right. They don't travel well. And when they get to you, it's like this big gloppy mess.
But have that same gloppy mess at 3 a.m. and it's the best meal you've ever had.
I'll eat it all day long.
And you forget that when you order the Mexican pizza, and then you go, "Oh gosh, I'm never doing this again." And then time flies, and you go, "Man, you know what looks good on the menu right now? They got a deal with a Mexican pizza and 2 tacos."
Don't mind if I do.
Okay.
Thus, we find ourselves in this predicament here.
Your BH will call for it later.
Let's go over to you. Let's put in these last dispatches before we get out of the way today. And here is Arturito with a review on those nude beaches.
Hello guys, and greetings from South Florida. I have actually been in several nude beaches around the world. And to be honest, my 2 favorites are actually here in Florida. I have been to both to Playa Linda and Haliber. Playa Linda is way better when you don't want to be around a lot of people. The beach, every time I went, is almost empty, which is great for me. I love that way. And but Haliber Beach is way better for accessibility and if you're hungry and to have things around.
While you're
like
nude?
Sabi said, you go to nude beaches to enjoy yourself, not to see other people. But like, you do you. Also, Sabi, please pick me for free.
You got it, my dude.
We will go.
Nice. Arturito, thanks, man.
Also, you need to remind me tomorrow.
Here's Florida Vibes.
Why do you guys say Playa Linda? So weird.
Are
Playa
you
Linda.
serious?
He said Playa Linda, too.
He said Playa Linda.
Isn't
It's
there an A?
Playa Linda.
Yeah,
because
there's-
it's Spanish.
Let me see. There's an A in the damn thing. It's Playa Linda.
Yeah,
right?
because playa is beach in Spanish.
He called it Playa Linda.
He called it playa.
Whatever. Who
No,
cares?
you didn't. He did.
Don't get all word policey on me, Florida vibes,
Not
okay?
you. You
Who?
said it right. No, he was like, why are you guys saying it weird? Because he wants to call it playa.
Playa Linda is not right either.
No, it's playa.
Yeah, Playa Linda.
You were doing it right. He's trying to be
That's
funny.
what I was saying. I'm saying he's screwing it up, but trying to be the word police for us. We're
Yeah,
not
so
screwing.
shut up.
I
You know
don't
what? Actually,
Who
give him a
cares?
thumbs down, please. I don't ever want to hear from him again.
Frowny face for you, sir. You can work your way out of it. Let's get to this here, all right? Because I teased this too much. A supermarket worker who went viral
It's supermarket.
for posting a TikTok video of himself theatrically announcing the store's closing time. He filmed himself and he said, "Good evening, customers," and he was doing a British accent. "As the time is now 8:50 p.m., this store will close in 10 minutes' time. As the sun must set on a beautiful horizon, so must you make your way to the front of the store to finalize your purchases. Good morrow, customers, good morrow." He has announced that he has quit after getting in trouble with his boss for doing this announcement
He got
that
in
went
trouble.
viral.
That sucks.
They said the bosses told him off for it, so he ended up quitting. And
Dude,
he
you know
said,
how many more people would come to that store just to hear that at the end of the day?
Let him have some fun, for God's sake. It's better than playing closing time, which was the other bit somebody did on one of
Sarado.
these. And welcome to Slow Jamistan. It's a micronation hidden in California. Randy R. Dub Williams is the sultan of his own country, tucked away right in the United States. And it's in self-declared territory in Nevada named the Republic of Molossia, I guess. Oh, that's the place he went to. He went to some of these other places. And then he decided he was going to make his own. He purchased an 11-acre plot of empty desert land deep in the arid landscape of Southern California's Imperial County to establish his new nation, Slow Jamistan. And they are all
I'm in.
about the slow jams in Slow Jamistan, as you could have imagined. Playa Linda? One of the two of those.
Playa.
All right, let's get the hell out of here. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
It is Today I Learned for a Tuesday, June 11th, 2023. Today I Learned sponsored by, it's not June 11th, it's June 13th.
Oh, right.
I really screwed this up.
All good.
The Today I Learned subreddit being shut
Do
down
you remember
has
yesterday?
had a negative impact on me.
June 11th
on
was
me.
Sunday.
Well, it's the 13th now. Today I Learned on the final day of filming for this show.
Seinfeld.
That's right.
Got it.
Seinfeld. On the final day of filming Seinfeld, Jerry Seinfeld gave everybody on the cast and crew an extremely expensive Cartier watch,
What's the deal?
which would be more impressive if it wasn't so clear that they were making insane amounts of money at that time.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah, but
making
like
big
Gaffer
bucks.
got a watch.
No, I don't think
Okay.
it went that far.
The best boy grip, he got one.
I think it was,
Hollywood Brad, we're not going to watch.
I think it was a little more limited than that. Otherwise,
cast and crew.
That'd have been a lot. Today I learned the longest movie ever made is called We Will Make a Cinema. And the film is 21 hours and 5 minutes long.
Yeah, no.
This is a real movie, like they qualify as a movie. Not there's one that's like The Art of Sleeping or something. It's like days long.
Did
No,
they show this in a theater?
I don't know, but that's very,
You'd
very
have to
long.
come back, right?
The second one is 14 hours, 33 minutes. It's called The Journey. And La Flor is the third one, third longest. 13 hours, 23 minutes. That was released in 2018. Today I learned the Netherlands every year gives Canada 20,000 tulips as a thank you for helping in World War II.
Aw.
It's part of something called the Canadian Tulip Festival.
How long is that going to go on for?
It goes on for a very long time. It's held each May in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. It's the world's largest tulip festival, displaying over 1 million tulips. And for this, 650,000 people show up because
All right.
Party.
Canada, there's not a lot to do. Large displays of tulips are planted throughout the city, the largest of which are often in Commissioner's Park. And today I learned this song. I fought the law. That's right.
Fought.
I fought the law, and the law won.
Sounded like something else.
By the Clash has been used by the U.S. military. In 1989, during Operation Just Cause, the U.S. military surrounded this place in Panama, trying to capture Manuel Noriega, the strongman of Panama. They blasted rock music, including this song, I Fought the Law and the Law Won by the Clash, to pressure him to give himself up. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. We're back tomorrow, same time, same place in West Palm Beach. Rover's up next. In Orlando, it's the Jim